Welcome to the Shelfside Spurs show on this most solemn of days, the Buy Alan One Beer Fund.
It's a streamer fund.
Graham to my right will now tell you what this appeal is all about.
Look Alan in the eye and tell him you can't afford £19 for a beer. Feed an Alan, save a life. Every minute, Alan begs and yearns for a beer. But £19 is all it will cost in the White Hart Lane Stadium to buy Alan a high-energy beer. Enough to save the life of a man like Alan and start him on the road to recovery. And today, you could buy this beer just by using your phone. We know that emergency beer works. As Britain's leading overseas beer charity, we've pioneered its use all over the world. Well, all over the Southeast. Now, all we need is for you to do is to reach out for your phone and provide Alan a beer. Thank you.
To donate to the Buy Alan One Drink Fund, please text 1991. 1991. 1991. And you too can contribute. Please call now and take Alan back to 1991.
Please excuse me, I had to put that bit on mute. I had to put it on mute because otherwise my language wouldn't have been appropriate.
I'm crying already.
Oh dear, Amy. So, how is everyone?
Well, I was okay.
We're okay. I don't know about Alan, you know.
Are you going to survive?
I need a drink. I just need a drink. Give me a drink, people. Give me a drink.
For just £19, you can save an African like Alan. What part of Africa are you from, Dave?
We need to say
Alan.
hello.
We
yeah,
do.
there.
Yeah,
I'm there. That's it. I'm there.
So
I'm from that bit.
Mrs. Iggy is in. Good evening.
Thanks for the beer, Mrs. Iggy.
Mr. Sophie is in. Good afternoon. We got Mark Cousins. Good to see you, buddy. And Bobby K has just, stepped right up to the plate. He has already donated. You know, we don't know where his money from, but he's done it.
We must be already halfway towards our fund already.
We need to do like on the every half an hour we need to do like a totalizer or whatever. Like
I think so. Yeah.
Comic relief or children in need, or how they do it.
Yeah, I can put it on the end of the ticky ticker.
Yeah.
Current totalizer.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
£19.91.
Oh, that is too bloody obvious, John Boy. Oh, sorry, Damien.
19.
Damon.
Do we need to buy your PA a drink as well? Do we need to increase the fundage?
No, my son's tight. He ain't buying nothing back, so he can go rock.
Fair enough.
Well, no, this is the fund for you, Alan. But also, if we need to do a fund for the PA, I'm sure there will be enough fundage to cover the both of you, as long as the viewers are generous, and we will.
We might have to do another show to raise funds for another person, maybe.
It's true.
Watch this space for more on that later.
He's deserting me. He's deserting us next week, so no, nothing for him.
Who's deserting you?
Oh,
okay.
My son's moving off grid.
You got to do that immediately, Bobby. You know, it's those. I've had a couple of those. They are really, really good. You know, I live in the lap of luxury now because I really sent the money to release the funds. It's great. It's great. There's a lot of them around. I didn't know I had so many relatives living in Niger and Mali and Zimbabwe.
Other African countries are available.
Yes. To help with our appeal, we put out a request on social media for local bands and musicians if they would like to contribute to the campaign song to raise every penny sold goes towards the Buy Alan a Beer campaign.
Mhm.
And I'm pleased to announce that the band Blur stepped up to the plate. They offered to write a song, and they even did a video as well for Alan. So I will now play the video, which thank you to the guys in Blur for doing that.
Thank you, guys.
And
Big
this is a world exclusive. So if you like the song and the video, then you can contribute to the 1991 fund too. So if we can get a countdown, boys.
5.
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. Because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, but I'm going to try and get there earlier. So I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west near the media shop. I go up one level, and I usually have me something to eat there by the first grill bar, and it's actually in the west stand.
I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
And every time they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away. Like I usually do the driving.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half time.
People, I just let you know, I only ever have one drink.
I get up about 3 o'clock, go on Persuasion with Eugene, and then in the afternoon I like to go on Tommy Talk. How's life?
I'm nothing like him. Nasty.
I have indeed, mate. I have indeed. What do you think of that, Alan? Did you enjoy that?
It's a laugh. It's a laugh.
Big
We've got another song. Mark's given us a follow-up song already. Feed the Alan, let him know it's beer drinking time. So many wasted years and wasted years.
Yeah, it would be a wasted year.
So the
I don't think
eagle-eyed.
it's funny, Bobby K. I don't think it's funny.
No, but everyone else does. So it's
As usual.
Oh,
dear
my
me.
Oh Lord.
My face
I'm
hurts
not-
from laughing. I haven't actually seen the video. I just finished it like moments before we were rushing on air, so I had to quickly do an upload.
I've,
Good, isn't
A
it?
picture of me on the main one when I was standing at the bar. Yeah.
I've not laughed so much since Tommy talks
ball.
hashtagging dogs.
Who got a name check in this song, didn't he, Al?
He did.
Oh,
Persuasion and Tommy Talks Ball. Well, he's not called Tommy Talks Ball anymore, though, is he?
No, the Hotspur Hoods.
The Hotspur Hood.
Oh, has he changed it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember. He changed it before Tommy Touches Balls. He called himself. He had something before that as well, and I can't remember what he was called before that.
He needs to go under the
Anyone can remember.
under the
I thought you
radar
were
in
gonna
case the
co-host
old
it with Chris.
PCA get in touch.
No. Yeah.
What's that, Al?
I thought he was going to be co-hosting it, or Chris was going to host it with him. That was the idea, but don't seem that at the moment. I don't know.
Don't create divides, Alan,
I'm not.
Yeah.
or you'll get a Will Stewart. Close up.
Extreme close up.
Do you know what I did? So I'm thinking about staying up early hours in the morning one day just to see that. I think he done me brain in the other day. Superb, isn't it?
Did you not go and photobomb them in Latimer?
Photobomb the princes.
No, unfortunately, I was debating it, but I didn't think they'd be like, "Who's this guy turning up like Ashley Cole at the side of a photo?" Just like,
yeah. And who invites himself to a wedding? My mate Hawkey. We were, yeah. And my mate Hawkey, we were waiting at the King's Arms, Nick, to get taken to a wedding once, and Hawkey turned up as was his one, and so we were all suited and booted, me and Machine, ready to get in. So we got in this taxi, and Hawkey got him. Didn't even know the people getting mad or anything. We're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Coming with you." He's like, "We're going to a wedding. You can't just come along to a wedding." So he didn't get out. He came along. So we sent him to Coventry when we got there. We're like, "Who's he?" Don't know. Never heard of him. So it does happen. Dan Newton invited himself to a wedding, did he?
Yeah, always.
Always. Was it somebody you knew around here, Sophie, or did the whole Prince lot have a mass exodus from North London?
If we could confirm or deny.
We could confirm or deny, yeah.
What were you doing in our county of Buckinghamshire?
You might notice that we are filling a bit because we've got.
Did you attend the nuptials?
We were just saying backstage we've got actually nothing to talk about, have we? There's nothing's going on. Newcastle preview.
No. So we'll catch you later. See you later.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's usually what happens on our show. We just talk about nothing.
But we've just realised it today. we've actually realised.
We just realised it. Right, yeah.
What do we normally talk about? It's not football or Tottenham, is it?
We don't really talk about anything. What the fuck?
I did think of another one of my funny stories the other day. One of the escapades I got myself into. It's escaped me now. Give me a subject, Rez, and I'll tell you a funny story about it. I'll do like Ricky Gervais in The Office when he's on that date with that woman. Just give me any subject, and I'll tell you a funny story about
it. Christmas.
Don't go there.
Christmas. No, got nothing.
Nothing.
I'll probably have if I think about it. Canada qualified. We should give props to the Canadians, Bobby Kay, and Cody, and Scott M, our Canadian cohorts. Where are America, Brian? Yeah, technically.
Yeah, Brian is technically a Canadian. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Okay. We've got news to bring you. Let's. Which one was the short one? It's got to be that one, isn't it?
Yo!
Yeah. How you doing? Long time no.
How you doing, my man?
I was sitting there thinking, is he going to bring me in? And then you went to like this clip. Like, what's he doing?
Do you know with the seat you're sat in, Spells, it looks like you've got really furry red headphones on.
It's orange. It's fucking orange. Look, it's orange.
Whatever.
Computer chair. Computer chair.
You're a two of a kind. You with a Chelsea picture and you
and it looks like you've got big red earmuffs on or big orange earmuffs on. Just move slightly. There you go. Yeah, right there. Just duck your head a little bit. You know?
Looks like Mickey Mouse. The big orange earmuffs in Golders Green Lane.
I would do a Mickey Mouse impression, but he doesn't talk, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's got a squeaky bit of a voice, hasn't he? But apart from that, so the word on the street, Stel, is what do you make of Canada qualifying for the World Cup since 1986?
Listen, I think it's great if you're Canadian, right? I think it's great if you're Canadian. I always follow England, Cyprus, and Greece, okay? Because I was born in England, and my mum and dad are from Cyprus. They're Greek Cypriots. So I follow three nations, so I'm spoiled. And I remember Italia 90 and World Cup 98 were the best ever kind of World Cups as an England fan for me. Best experiences. But when Greece qualified for 2004, they were like 2,500 to 1. It was a joke, an absolute joke. It's like Canada qualifying for the World Cup. Let's be honest, it's a bit of a joke. But you don't know what's going to happen. And as you progress through the competition, I'll tell you right now, Greece winning the Euros was the best fan experience I've ever had in football in my life.
That was
insane. The parties and the celebrations. And it's a bit like Spurs. It's like, you know that journey getting to the Champions League? It was like that. It felt like that. This isn't meant to happen. Is this really happening? So for Canada, it's great. And I get how they feel. And if they go on a good run, listen, they're the kind of fans that have the most fun. Because there's no pressure. No one's expecting them to do anything. So they can just go there and enjoy it. So I think it's good if you're Canadian.
I'm just typing here. Rev, do you want to talk amongst yourselves?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't. Yeah. Apologies. Yeah.
So let me get this right. Johnny asks me a question. He switches off and starts typing.
Switches off, typing. Yeah.
Welcome to
the Shellside Spurs. Yeah.
You know when I came on, the first thing Johnny said was, "Long time no see." Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
I was actually putting the link in the chat, actually. So I was busy servicing my fans. I know Stelios is always keen for me to interact
your
with
fans?
My fans.
Right,
more, yeah.
What category
my
do
viewing
I come
millions.
Under? What
viewing
category
millions.
am I under?
You're an illustrious cohort.
Yes.
Illustrious cohort.
Yes.
Still,
I'm an extra. I'm a backing extra, aren't I?
Yeah, something like that.
Keep hold of them predictions we made.
They're called background artists now.
Oh, okay.
Seriously.
I'm just background noise.
Or extras.
Yeah, extras are not called extras anymore. They're called background artists because there's real artistry to standing around. I've been an extra, so I know what I'm talking about. There's artistry to standing around and waiting for anyone to notice you. Oh, they treat them like shit. They really do.
Well, young Iggy, we've got a damn sight better chance of winning the World Cup than you have, haven't we? Witless are in the damn thing.
Excuse me, Iggy. I have actually experienced it, even though I didn't take note of it at the age of 2.
Oh, I tell you, them's fighting words. You're gonna have to come on, Iggy.
You were a teenager in those days, weren't you, Al?
Yeah.
Don't push it.
But what I understand, you see, I think that there'd be because Sophie is, if I'm correct, is Greek. So
Talking about you in 2004, brilliant.
What did Iggy get up to in 2004?
He's married to a Greek lady, so
there you go.
So he probably got it.
Yeah.
How did Italy get on in those Euros? I can't even remember.
I don't think they were.
That's a good point, actually. Let's have a look. Euro 2004. We will do the checking up.
Italy were there.
Yeah, at the end of
they weren't there.
At the end of the show yesterday, Mari's show, you said you were on a promise.
They finished bottom of their group, I think. Oh no, sorry, no, hold on. Tell a lie. No, my mistake.
Don't sex shame Stel live on the show, Barry. That's very naughty.
Italy at 2004.
Oh, Iggy. Oh, right.
He was the one.
Johnny's got it in for me. I can tell. He's got it in for me.
I was trying to defend your honour.
Johnny,
Barry was on about someone saying that they're on a promise.
It's not Alex Davis in the bottom left-hand corner.
I miss Johnny.
All right?
Johnny
Calm down.
Just to give you the background, guys, Italy at 2004, they were in Group C along with Sweden, Denmark, and Bulgaria. They finished the group stage on 5 points, which is the same as Denmark and Sweden, and actually exited on goal difference because Sweden and Denmark had +5 and +2 respectively. And Italy only had +1, but each of the teams won 1, drew 2, and lost none. But Italy were knocked out at the group stage.
I think we've discussed that with Jens before. Actually, we mentioned it.
That's how Greece qualified on goal difference.
Yes, it's true.
We knocked out Spain on goal difference.
Yeah. You progressed on goals scored. It wasn't even goal difference. You had the same goal
done.
difference.
The head-to-heads. Went to the head-to-heads. Yeah.
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. And then all the way to winning it is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Mate, I went out. I was there. I went out there. I took a punt. I got I bought a ticket with TUI Airlines. I think they're called
that's
Thompson back then.
Thompson, yeah.
50 quid one way. Just took a punt, and we ended up buying tickets on the high street. Well, not the high street, like the walk up to the Stadium allllll, the Benfica stadium of some African guy, just selling them for like 30 quid. European Cup final ticket for 30 quid, man. Oh my God. Well, 30 euros. It's even less.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I bet one of the big nations like thought they were going to be there, didn't they? And like took a punt on all their tickets, and then they're like, don't want them. Yeah. Works out well for you anyway.
Yeah. We would have gone to a fan park anyway, to be fair. But
bear in mind, also in Euro 2004, Germany also went out at the group stage as well. It was like the giant killer tournament, basically.
Where were we?
We finished, we did. We finished second in Group B.
England got knocked out on penalties. The goalkeeper of Portugal scored the winning penalty.
I remember.
Yeah. In the quarterfinals, yeah.
And then I remember because on the train to the final, all the Portuguese fans were giving us jip because they thought they were going to beat us because we beat Portugal in the opening game.
Yeah.
And then we had them in the final, so it was revenge. And the England fans were cheering us on, saying, "We hope you batter them," because the Portuguese knocked out the English. It was just this fucked up love triangle going on in the train.
Yeah.
That would have been the Czechs, wouldn't it? Jens Milan Boros. I mean, he was Czech, wasn't he? I'm sure we've talked about it during one of your quizzes, Jens. That draw, where all three teams drew or something, and someone got knocked out. One of the quizzes.
We knocked out the Czech on goal and goal. Can I say the Czechs were the best team in that competition? They deserved to win it, in my opinion.
They got more points in their group stage than any other team. They won every game. They won every game.
Mustard in that tournament.
Yeah. They finished the group on 9 points. The highest that anyone else got was 7 points, and that was France.
They had Jurgen Koller up front as well.
Props to Nedved. He's still got a mullet now, hasn't he? He's had it for like 20 years. He hasn't even bothered changing his haircut.
Yeah, it's true.
We were saying today we've got nothing to talk about really, apart from the Newcastle preview. It's going to be a shelf-side Spurs meet because Alan's going to the game. I don't know if you saw our little Blur song before you came on, of Alan describing his average day as a Spurs fan, his build up to the game.
Because we've still got the fundraiser to do. We've still got the streamathon. So do please call in with your donations. Phone.
Are you going Saturday?
So just remember 1991, 1991, 1991.
Let's just remind ourselves what we're donating for tonight.
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. Because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, so I'm going to try and get there earlier. Because I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west near the media shop. I go up one level, and I usually have me something to eat there by the first grill bar, and it's actually in the west stand.
I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
And every time they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away. Like I usually do the driving.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half-time.
People, I just let you know, I only ever have one drink.
I get up about 3 o'clock, go on Spursuasion with Eugene, and then in the afternoon I like to go on Tommy Talk. How's life?
Hey, I'm nothing like him.
And there we are still. Yeah. The comedy god that is Al, just pulling strings every week for different comedy Godness.
That picture of you in the tuxedo, you look like a proper dolman.
I thought you were going to say proper pest.
Most
I think we do have something to talk about, and Ishak is readily running out of patience with us. So I think before he kills us or something, we should really talk about the Arsenal game. Yeah, scheduled for the week of May the 9th, so it'll be probably the 11th.
After we've been up to Liverpool.
After we've been up to Liverpool, exactly. You know, so they piss about, right? Essentially get a pass to avoid a difficult game by the league by essentially just looking at the rule book and saying, what can we get away with? And then they get that kind of thing. I said it at the time, and it's got nothing to do with the fact that it's Arsenal. It really isn't. Any club who'd done that, I would turn around and say they forfeit the match. They are forced to forfeit the match. You know, no points, -3 goal difference, and 3 points to the opposition. Right? It is not right what they've done, and they should be sanctioned for it. You know, this is the random rant that Sophie asked for earlier. They should. Right? There is no justification at all for what they did, and they should be sanctioned, right? You know, we played, if you remember, a few years back, we were forced to play when we had fucking food poisoning, right? Yeah. We had players throwing up on the pitch, and the league still forced us to play. These guys, they don't have any illness apart from one COVID case, right? They had one COVID case and 4 other injuries, and they used that to get out of a game. They should be punished for it.
Yeah, they'll have a full-fit squad when we play them.
Yeah, you know, ridiculous stuff.
It was always going to bite us on the arse, wasn't it? That's why we were so pissed off that it happened.
Yeah,
it happened even with Burnley. That game got cancelled because of the snow. Yeah. When they come back, they had 3 players or 4 players that were missing.
Yeah,
when we were due to play them, and they were stronger.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have had Beggles.
Ultimately, this. I mean, it's a continuation of previous rants about how just unfit for purpose the authorities are in football. Right? There's no oversight. There's no accountability. You know, the FA can do whatever they want. The Premier League can do whatever they want. Although, weirdly, the Premier League is ever so slightly better set up than the FA. Only slightly, in as much as, you know, they've got 20 voices, and for sort of major decisions, you need a 2/3 majority. That is good because it stops what they tried to do. Yeah, it's true. They tried to basically what would have happened with do you remember what was that project that they wanted to do, where they wanted to basically change it so the big 6 clubs had a bigger voice. This was before the ESL debacle, but they fought that and said no, it's not going to happen, and that's a good thing. But you know, the FA's terrible. They're awful structurally, in terms of accountability, in terms of, you know, actually responsiveness and agility when it comes to football fans. We've been forgotten. That's the thing. You know, the people that make football what it is have been forgotten and taken for granted. And when that happens, that's what's going to be, you know?
Speaking of people that are taken for granted... We have a special guest. You can't see who it is.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
It's Bobby K.
Hey. Sing it, Alan. Sing it, baby.
Just for the viewers. The reason that Bobby isn't on camera is that because he's still driving at the moment. So obviously his employer doesn't allow him to think. See, told you.
Nice hat, Bobby. Do you leave the hat on for Mrs. Bobby K?
No, just the tie only. I walked in the other day wearing the tie, and I asked her to sing the Bobby K song. I was 0 for 2 on both fronts. But hey, I'm going to say I'm quite proud of myself because, like they say, as long as you make an honest attempt, you should be rewarded for that. Absolutely. Unfortunately, my reward was just tears, but something's better than nothing. And how are you lovely gentlemen doing today? How is everybody?
Hold on. Who was the one shedding the tears? Was it you or the wife?
Well, it was her tears at the beginning, but I think they were tears of laughing because she just was rolling around hysterically. And then for me, it was tears realizing that she's not going to stop laughing anytime soon. So me and little Bob tucked our tails and just walked away while we could.
There's a song about something Tears of a Clown. No, that's a song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was Tears of a Kang. It's a remix.
Down.
What?
Yeah, I'll knock it out for next week.
You know, we've got all the talking points that are coming up and basically end up with me ranting about them. This is gonna.
I just had to jump on because I finally saw I had the opportunity before I got to work to join you guys for a moment, and I had to pick a bone with Stell there. Fuck's your problem with Canada qualifying for the World Cup, man? Huh? What the hell, man? I was happy for you Greeks. Why you gotta be like that, Stell? Huh? Why you gotta be like that, man? What did we do to you? We got a big Greek population here in Canada, Stell.
I said if you're Canadian, you should be so happy you've qualified.
Yeah, but then you also said, yeah, I'm really happy for yeah, it was one of those, I'm really happy for you Canadians if you qualify. You don't deserve to be here, but I'm happy for you.
No. I never said you don't deserve to be there. I said like Greece, we're just not really good footballing teams, are we?
How the fuck did you possibly get in? But it was something along those lines.
Listen, focus on your driving. Get to work, yeah? Don't worry about the show.
Yeah.
Right. Get that Stelios on the hands-free. Get him on the hands-free.
As our North American correspondent today, Bobby, can you let us know how America are getting on? Are they qualified or are they bombing out? Or
they qualified. They finished third.
Tell us about tell us about the Canadian A team.
The Canadian what?
The B team. Canadians, Canada's B team, America.
Hello?
Don't worry. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, Bobby. Carry on.
Do we actually have a genuine question?
Hi, boys, you still got me?
Yeah.
For a bit.
Sorry,
we were
boys,
just giving you the opportunity to
getting in and out here.
We were just giving you the opportunity to slag off. We were just giving you the opportunity to slag off America if you wanted to. That was all.
Oh, you know what? We as Canadians, we don't do stuff like that because we just laugh at the lack of knowledge Americans have regarding us. They think we're all Eskimos and live in igloos. So it's kind of funny when you speak to some Americans. I find with Americans, they're either super knowledgeable about Canada or they know absolutely nothing at all. There's never the in-between. So it's kind of funny, but I got some family over there, so I don't want to slag them off. At the end of the day, we did better than them. A country with 1/10 of your population finished above you, and who invests maybe 1/100th of what you do into football finished above you. So other than that, there's no need to gloat, right?
Did you want to mention how you got on with the head-to-head as well, Bobby?
Other than that gloating.
Oh no, I'm not going to mention how we.
How did you get on with the head-to-head again?
That's unnecessary. Yeah, it's unnecessary. No, it was 1-1, wasn't it? We won one, they won one.
Oh, did they won one? Did they?
I'm pretty sure it was 1-1. I'd be lying if I was saying I'm 100% on that one. Yeah, I've been under the influence of some really good medication trying to get my back better the last few days, so I'm a little bit lost in space as the TV show is.
Bobby,
that's sort of reassuring to know that you, as a bus driver, are taking medication that phases you out.
Oh no, where I drive, we get some really good shit from the customers. It's great. They don't pay their fares with money. They'll bring you a little crack rock or here's a hit of ecstasy or yeah.
Hey Bobby, any jobs going?
Any jobs going? What do you mean? There's lots of jobs here, buddy. Come on over.
I'm on my way.
Great.
Alan wants to immigrate. He wants to leave.
Yeah.
We want him to.
We want him to leave as well.
I don't want to buy me a beer on Saturday. That's what it is.
Yeah. The next fundraiser is going to be Al's.
Get out to Canada, yeah. Get out to Canada.
Bobby,
well, oh God, geez, why am I having a brain fart here? God, I was with him on the channel. Mark, my God, Mark, as Mark Cousins like to point out, we are an old English colony, so you can just come over. You don't need to even fill out paperwork.
Bobby, your thoughts on Italy not going to the World Cup?
You know what? I feel really bad for them. On a serious note, I do feel bad because I think Italy's the kind of team you want in the World Cup. That being said, I can understand the point Stell was kind of getting to, and I understand what he was going on, the overall picture, that when you have teams like Canada in there and teams that are kind of lesser nations, when we're talking about a world competition where it should be the elite, the very best of the very best, then yeah, it's kind of hard to fathom that Canada's there and Italy is not. We're talking about the reigning European champions. Unfortunately, now this is back-to-back World Cups they haven't qualified for, and the one before that they went out in the group stage. So, if I was an Italian fan, I'd be devastated. I really feel for Iggy. I know he's a big fan and everything. And over here in Toronto, it was almost inconceivable to think that it could have been possibly Italy and Portugal not in the World Cup, because we have such a large population downtown of the two of them. And to think that neither of those areas, Little Portugal, Little Italy, are going to be lit up when the World Cup is on with the flags and the people singing in the streets is kind of disheartening. So for that reason alone, I feel for the fans. Do I feel for the team that beat us and took away our opportunity to win a European championship at home? No, not at all.
But also, Bobby, if you win your group, you go through, right? So that's all they had to do. They're easy group, and they didn't do it. So, yeah, what can we say? GoFundMe for our Canada life. That's the next one. LJ, can we have an update on the totalizer? We've gone past half an hour. We need an update on the totalizer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. We didn't do a thing. Yeah. So the
current I'll update it. Yeah.
But speaking of the World Cup, sorry, what group did Greece go into?
How many trophies have Canada won?
No. Why do you got to answer the question? Why do you got to answer the question with the question?
Because I know you can't answer my question, just like I can't answer your question.
I don't understand. If you're such a proud Greek, why you're in an orange shirt, not a blue and white one?
Because my team in Cyprus is Applewell, and they were orange. Applewell.
I appreciate you supporting Canada in the red chair, brother.
I think on
a serious note, I hope Canada go there and they get absolutely destroyed by every team they play.
Why do I have a feeling the first time I ever meet Stell in person, it's not going to be a hug that I get? A big old Greek oppa right across the side of the head.
If you bring me some homemade, nation-made maple syrup, I'll give you a big fucking hug. I promise you. I'm not bringing
you no nation-made shit. I've got a friend of mine, my best friends own a nursery. They get their stuff fresh from the Mennonites out here, the Amish people. I'll bring you maple syrup, buddy. It's so pure, you'll think that you've got a maple tree in your house. Yeah.
I'll hug you for as long as you want. I won't let go.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a bet on. I'd like a pat on the booty as well. I'll wear just my tie for you too.
Listen, Bobby, we will take you to the best Curry Club Spurs night of your life.
Can I just ask one very quick question though, of Stells? Stells, how do you think Greece are going to do in the World Cup?
How many trophies has Iran won?
Getting very bitchy now, boys. Very bitchy.
Can we actually establish, Rez, how are Iran getting on? Because they were top of the group with Iraq, weren't they? It was Iran, Iraq, and South Korea. I think they were.
Have Iran qualified?
As you know,
they were second or third last time we checked.
As you know, I'm not following this World Cup, so I've not been.
Let's have a look.
Checking.
Why are you not following the World Cup, Rez?
Don't get him started.
You know what? All right, boys. Breaking news. Look at the top story when I've just put into Iran World Cup. Could Italy get a 2022 World Cup recall if Iran qualify? So, Iggy, you want? I don't know. Maybe chucking them out.
Can I say, right? Someone said this last night on Will Stewart's show that if someone gets kicked out, then Italy could take their place. Surely
Italy gets the first spot. Yeah.
When I was going to say, surely it's got to be a country from that continent because Italy was in the European qualifications. Iran is in a different. They're not in the European. So surely it's got to be from that continent.
That's what you figure, Stel, that it should be somebody from the regional representation, the next team that followed that finished behind them. But
it's actually
we're talking about UEFA and FIFA here, so
it's actually, I guess it depends. Boys, it's actually quite bad what they've done. I'm just reading it here. There is extreme remote possibility Italy could be promoted to the 2022 World Cup if Iran are excluded for banning women from their stadium. It became an issue because Iran banned 2,000 women from the stadium for their World Cup qualifier against Lebanon. Despite the fact they'd purchased tickets. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Iran won the game 2-0, but had already been warned by FIFA in 2019 to stop banning women from the stands. Jeez.
So I've got a question. Here, guys. Are you all excited
get the spot
about?
Then?
Yeah, that's a good question. But are you guys excited by the prospect of the Islamic Republic of Iran that does that to women purchasing a Premier League club? Because obviously Newcastle fans are really happy at the moment because their regime is really, really progressive.
Who are they buying then?
I don't know. They're not. But I was just making the comparison. How would people react?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not
to buy a club.
I'm not even looking forward to this World Cup. I'm not even looking forward to just the World. For me, the World Cup, it's got to be in the summer so we can be outdoors in beer gardens, out in the streets with your neighbours, having a drink. Just walking down the public transport, getting to whatever venue you're getting. The sun's out. We're going to be fucking locked up indoors, shaking like this, cold. It's just people. Yeah. No doubt there'll be another lockdown because there's another outbreak of COVID or because of the flu season. It's just, I don't know. It's killed it for me a bit. It's killed it a bit.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you, Stella. It's the same thing over here. That's when we get into our really, really cold part. The winter starts over here. So, you're not walking down the street like you said, going to a pub, going to an outside patio or anything.
Trainers.
You're going to be watching it at home. Yeah. But like they say, if you're cold, well, you have to drink more.
Warm you up.
Right? You got to get warmed up, right? So.
Get them cause lights down.
The whole thing is one massive Farrago thing, right? It's again what I said earlier. This is why the authorities are not fit for purpose, right? There is no way, there is no qualification, there is no criterion under which Qatar is in any way, shape, or form worthy of a World Cup. Forget the human rights stuff. Put it all aside. Right? Just on footballing merit, they are nobody, right? They're a nobody. Why the hell are you giving a country that is in the middle of the desert that has this tiny population a football tournament on the idea that it's going to develop football? They barely have a league out there. They're trying to buy these sort of, more famous names, but all of them are from the ends of their careers, They're not going there to develop. They're going there for one last payday. You're not developing.
Sounds like Scotland minus the payday.
Scotland has a long, storied history of football. Did you know that it was actually Scottish players that turned English football into the sort of exemplar of football? Because what happened?
Who told you that? Scotsman.
No. It's historically true. Check this out. Right? So basically, what happened is that football, for a long time, in this country back in the 19th century resisted professionalization. Right? It said we're not going to go professional. It's going to remain amateur, and this is the way it's going to be. And then there was something like 16 clubs up from the north, all turned around and threatened the FA to say, if you don't allow us to go professional and start paying players, we are going to split and form our own football association, and you'll be destroyed within years, right? So the FA went professional, and the problem was that there were no professional players, or there were no enough players in England to actually take up the squads and actually take the job. So they got players from Scotland who came south and started playing professional football. And it was them that basically won those first 16 teams, their big sort of trophies, turned them into powerhouses. And it's because of Scotland that English football was so good and remains so good. It's such a competitive league. Because
sounds like something Arsenal would do, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
Foisting.
No, it wasn't the clubs that. No, it wasn't the clubs that migrated down. It was the players from Scotland. In the same way that you would transfer a Scottish player to an English club now, they moved down to play for these English clubs.
Speaking of Scotland, it takes me on to one of our talking points tonight. That footage of Paul Gascoigne scoring that goal the other day, I thought it was quite not disgusting, maybe a bit strong. It was just horrible to see how far Gaz has fallen. He can't even kick a football anymore. A player that's so beautiful and so graceful, like on the pitch, and he couldn't even kick a football anymore. It was horrible to see for me. I mean, I know on social media everyone's saying how they pat him on the head and he scored a goal and everyone cheer and stuff, but it was kind of upsetting to see him in that state, wasn't it? It was very patronising. And then you've seen the social media post from Richard Cracknell. They're trying to promote sort of events with Gazza, but he said he's not well. He's not well enough to do events at the moment. So sad times.
It's sad. What can you do? What can you do? We were going to discuss other stuff, weren't we?
We were. Let me just bring up the panel. Do we need to hear from our sponsors before we move on again? Yeah.
Maybe a shortened version.
I don't think I've got.
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. Because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, but I'm going to try and get there earlier. So I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west near the media shop. I go up one level, and I usually have me something to eat there by the first grill bar, and it's actually in the west stand.
I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
And every time they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away. Like I usually do the driving.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half-time.
People, I just let you know, I only ever have one drink.
I get up about 3 o'clock, go on Persuasion with Eugene, and then in the afternoon I like to go on Tommy Talk. How's life?
Hey, I'm nothing like this.
I like your sponsors.
Iggy, here go,
Barry. That's some transformation, Barry. Iggy.
Where is everyone?
We're all here. We can only have 6 maximum on screen at the moment at one time. So.
Oh, okay. Then, I'll let you hop off. You got Iggy and Brian here now. You got our Canadian representation. I'm driving anyway, so I'll just watch the show in the background. Thanks for finally getting me on there for a few minutes there, fellas.
Big up to you, Bobby. Thanks for coming, mate.
Hey, Bobby.
Have a great day, okay?
I'm coming in November, Bobby, by the way.
I heard, Brian was telling me. So I heard that you're going to come with 2 suitcases, one for clothes, one for maple syrup.
I will now.
We will make sure we help you fill up that second suitcase, brother. Not to worry.
Amish maple syrup.
I got you, buddy. I got you covered. Don't worry. Don't go with Daigle to any kind of local shop, okay? Don't be going to a grocery store. I got you covered on that end of it, okay?
Bobby, can I really?
I'll let you and Brian sort that out. You two can
sort that out. Think Stell is coming to Toronto for 4 days, and the first thing I'm going to say to Stell is, let's go to a grocery shop, you're very much mistaken.
Well, I don't know, because the first thing I do when I land in England, it goes to Asda or Tesco and get my chocolates. So
Nando's, straight to Nando's.
Yeah, straight to Nando's. There you go.
Yeah, I won't be taking Stel to Loblaws or the Super Centre or any other market.
Fresco.
Or Walmart.
Don't do what most people do when a guest visits and take me to Greek Town in Canada. Let's go to Greek Town.
I was going to bring you to Little India.
Your people.
Oh, Greek people, great. It's so good to be in Canada.
That's what you came here to visit. Yeah. Like, is this going to be your first visit, Stel, here?
Yeah, first time visiting, yeah.
All right, then we got to make sure we at least get the Niagara Falls and the CN Tower in. Those are
Brian's
two things.
got it all sorted.
We're going Niagara, Bobby. You want to come with us? It'll be incredible. First place.
Yeah, I'll bring the van and we'll just load everybody into the van. It'll be easier, man. We'll all go in one van together.
Sounds good to me. Done.
Can we do that?
Yeah, so just make sure you plan that on a weekend, right? So, but I'll let you guys get to it there. Have a good day, fellas.
Rez wants the same treatment.
He's got it.
No problem.
Because I'm coming before Stels.
Yeah, I need to get over there.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So Rez is the trial run, and then we go proper when I come, right?
Yeah,
so
but
Brad is coming first, is he not?
Brad's coming in May. Brad's coming in May. Brad's coming in May.
Brad's your guinea pig.
September, and Stel in November. But Rez and Brad are coming for a week. Stel's only got 4 days. We got a lot to cram in, and one of the days we are just spending whatever day Spurs are playing on the weekend at the yard. The whole day.
Yeah, I want to go to the Spurs supporters thing. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you'll have a laugh there. It's a good crowd there. Good crowd. But gentlemen, I'll let you get to it. Have a good day. Everybody in the chat, have a great day, and we will speak to you all soon.
Enjoy driving your buses tonight, Bobby.
Thanks. Have a good night. Take care.
Peace, brother.
So welcome. Sophie has a question for you, Iggy.
Oh, bloody hell. I've been given a green light. Still looks like I'm coming with you, mate. I've been given a green light here. I haven't even spoken and I've been given a green light.
Well, do you know what?
I think she said we, as in you and her.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
I didn't see the we bit. I bypassed that.
Mate, listen.
As long as you know you're my number 2 and not the other way around. Okay.
You know nobody in this panel believes that, right? You know that, right? Nobody in this panel believes that. None of them.
Tottenham is a Tottenham away war.
They all believe it. They all believe
it. Cody, first of all, Cody, we'll do it when you come down to the yard with us for the day to meet Stel. We'll do it we'll do it at some point during that day. Listen, I said to you, Iggy, when we had my LinkedIn drinks, I said to Sophie, you've got to come out. And you were like, yeah, we're going to sort it. Listen, I want as many people to come out, and because when you come out and you see this city, you'll be like, right, I know why you've done it. I know why you've done it.
Yeah, don't convince her not to let me go now, because if I say I'll come there and I don't come back.
Yeah,
come out with you and go
goodbye to you, mate.
She's keen.
She just
gets the remote when you're not there, you know. So you go over for a week.
Listen, if you go and comment up, I've got the green light. She's giving me the green light.
And it's on YouTube now, so you can always prove it again.
Screenshot.
When you going, Baz?
Do you know
when you going, Barry?
When am I going? Next year.
Oh, next year.
Nice.
Why did we not all talk? Why did we not speak with each other and go as a group? Like,
well, the thing is, one of the things is when Brad and Red come out, they're staying here. If you'd come out as a group,
can I say something real quick?
So enjoy the fight for the single bed and the couches and whatever.
So if there's one sofa available, you're not.
I'm getting a hotel anyway.
You're going down. You're going down.
I'm only going for 4 days. Just do a hotel.
No, listen. I had no. I mean, I remember you saying something about going. I didn't know, obviously. My plan, and I said this to Brian not that long ago. I said, my plan, even before this whole qualifiers thing happened, I said my plan was to go in 2026. It's something I want. World Cup's out there. It's something about that World Cup that fascinates me. I mean, you know, the USA '94. I know Canada got it as well now as well. So the USA '94. I was too young to go then. I regretted not going to see that World Cup. But now that it's come around again, I definitely want to be there. So I said I'm gonna open up an account and I'm gonna save and I'm gonna start saving as of now, because I want to bring my boys with me because Joe, my oldest, is going to be 18. And he's obviously doesn't remember the last World Cup. He was 6 years old in 2014. So now he's going to be 18. That's a sad part. But someone said it once. It's like, it doesn't affect us so much missing 2 World Cups. It's that generation that my eldest son was 6 and now he's going to be 18, providing that we qualify, because there's no guarantees that we are. So I want to save up for that. But yeah, in regard to November, well, I've already got the green light. I need to start saving up then, don't I?
No, well, all I can say when it comes to the World Cup is obviously we've had the Euros, but in our lifetime, I've never been blessed to see a World Cup. But to have a World Cup in the country I live in is going to be something that, because Toronto will play a big part in it, in the Canada part, that's for damn sure. People like Jason, who lives in Nova Scotia, I don't know if they'd be lucky enough to have a venue, but Toronto will be a big venue at the World Cup, and to be a part of history and having it here is just going to be so. Like, we all know what England's like at the Euros. This country will go crazy, and I've already said, no matter what, no matter where England are, whether it be America, whether it be Mexico, whether it be here, I'm going to spend a week wherever England are. Not just even if I can't get a ticket.
Yeah, no,
just to be amongst the English fans.
There's a fan square. Like when I went to Germany 2006, they had a fan. What would you call it?
Fan zone.
The fan zone. They were everywhere, and it was amazing to be there. And I was obviously I went to the Euro semi-final against Spain. And you know what? It's an experience that I know for a fact the kids will always remember that. And I remember I was 21 years old when Euro 96 was on here. And you know what? And I remember the magic it was just amazing to be a part of. So whoever hosts, even if you don't get to go to a game, it's just a brilliant experience. It's like mixed with the fans around the world. It's just you know what? It's the Euro final here. It's such a shame what happened with the England fans gate crashing, because I thought that kind of dented the chances of possible future hosting a competition here, because up until that point, everything it had been brilliant. Honestly, it had been brilliant.
I think Iggy, if it hadn't been for the World Cup, for the COVID and a limited crowd, then I don't think anything like that would have happened, because we would have had a full house, full stop, and everything would have been okay. But I did like the idea of having these Euros in different countries. I know, most part was based, but I think it was great. I know it's probably a nightmare for fans to having to go to different parts of Europe, but I thought it was a great idea. And you know what? The fact that they did the World Cups in Canada / USA. I just love it. Something resonates really brilliant for me, and I really want to get to. I want to go there, and plus it's a city that, as Brian mentioned, it's a great city, and it's one I want to visit because I've never been to Canada.
I hope the final is in Canada rather than the US, because they've already had it. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I would, if the final was in Ottawa, it'd be like But if it's in Washington or say, the Rose Bowl out in LA, it's like
Rez, that final in '94 was played in Pasadena at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I remember the players, Brazil, Italy, they were dying on the pitch. I mean, literally, they were dying, and the quality of the football match was poor, but it was ridiculous.
It was the first World Cup final to go to penalties.
Yeah, but they were literally walking around. They just didn't have anything in them to play a decent match. It was a wrong. Whilst the venue was beautiful, and maybe it's got that, in Pasadena, Los Angeles, it's got that, but it wasn't the right venue for it. It needed to be played in a cooler environment to get a spectacle.
Well, I mean, it comes back to the whole Qatar thing. You can't, even in winter. That's not a cold part of the world. Why are you playing a finals there? There you go.
Yes, so mate.
You've got it. You're set. You're all set.
Clip it. Clip it.
Still don't look happy.
Yeah, Cody, can you sort us? Can you sort
Yeah,
that
do you
for
know
us?
what? Women have the wonderful memory to remember shit and arguments that you happened 25 years ago. But something like this that happened only today, they'll forget it tomorrow. They'll be like,
no, I've got that. I've got that memory. I've got that feminine quality. I've got that feminine quality.
Right,
Cody's
just got feminine quality.
Whoa. Serious question. Are you coming out for 4 days like Stell, or are you coming out for a week by yourself? Or
Mate,
longer
I've just only found out. I've been given a green light. You know.
Well, that's why you got to start planning. That's why you got to start planning now. Get it all locked in.
Well, I better get off the stream and then start looking at tickets. I don't even know how much the tickets are. I don't know what's happening in November. I know what's happening in November.
Tickets aren't bad. A return around that sort of time is around 400.
Just go off season.
We'll talk off camera. I'm dead serious. I'm definitely we'll sort something out. Stell's thinking, fuck's sake, I just wanted the holiday away from him, and now I got this fucking guy sitting next to me going, look.
Listen, the more the merrier. I said it earlier. How we all didn't arrange to go as one group is a bit of a.
Do you know what? We've said many a time, Stell, and Brian would know this as well. We've said one of our dreams was to go around the world and meet a lot of Spurs fans from different countries. So this is a great opportunity, and what better to encapsulate what Tottenham away really is. When we started, that's what it was all about. It was to do with meeting fans all across the world. Yeah. So this could be something that, sorry.
You really need to look into the comments, because at the moment you're going to be working 24 hours a day to pay for it.
You see how they change their shit? Have you noticed that? How quickly it's all changed. She's now it's all changed. Yeah. You see, this is women for you. This is women for you.
At the moment, we're very androcentric, so I think we need a woman to come on. So we need Sophie to come and.
Oh, she wanted to come on. She's not busy, so don't worry. She's listening. Yeah. She's actually watching us in the TV screen next door. So she loves this show. Can
you please tell Sophie to like and subscribe and hit the notification?
Can you like and subscribe and still saying, can you do the fixtures as well?
Yeah, we're up the fixtures.
Remember, don't smash the like and subscribe.
Oh no! Still,
yeah. Very
gently
click. Yeah.
Look at that.
Sorry, the pointer was, because I brought you in and the pointer was still on the button. Sorry, but just very gently click like that. No smashing. Or if you have to smash,
Richard Keys it.
Richard Keys it, and say it as you're doing it. Say, I'm Richard Keysing this button.
Sophie, would you like to come over and? Yeah. She can't be seen on camera, she said.
No, why?
She ain't got her makeup on.
She made you a cup of tea yet?
Hey?
She made you a cup of tea yet? Done the washing up? Or what's she doing?
I don't want to say anything, but they're asking, are you making a cup of tea today or what?
They're asking. I like that style. Nice style.
Yeah. Tommy's got to get over here as well, man.
Say?
Tommy, the man with 58,000 different names.
Is there
it's the Hotspur Hood Talks Balls Spurs Own TV.
I've missed this story. Why is it not called Tommy Talk Ball anymore? I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Yeah,
I'm out of the loop,
guys. The reason. However,
get Tommy and I'll go off for it. Well,
I've got a theory.
He's not here yet. But
I've got a theory. I think it's like Mary Poppins, and when the wind changes, she leaves. And when every time the season changes in England, he changes his name. That's what I think it is. So I think the wind has changed.
Can I add, for anyone that didn't see it yesterday, Wednesday, yesterday, Mari's Love Lounge. Mari brings up different kind of images, and you've got to caption the image, right? One image came up of Messi lying in his bed on his mobile phone with a big giant dog lying on the bed, right?
I remember.
And the caption came up, Tommy TV.
You know what? He's not going to live that down. I saw that clip because Nick, I didn't know what you guys were on about yesterday, and I said, "What is this Tommy and dog gags. So Nick kindly sent me the clip of what you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Honestly, I watched it 3 times and I laughed harder each scene every time.
Mate, it's unbelievable.
It's incredible. No, but it was just that. You know what? You know what got me? It was just this. Watch. This is what got me with Tommy doing this. There was a thought process, and then the Pornhub, and then the canine section. That was just too much. That had me. I was gone. And then the comments were brilliant.
It's his blatant honesty. His blatant honesty just through all of us.
Yeah.
Like, you were actually thinking about shagging dogs. Yeah.
What are you thinking about, Tommy?
Serious.
Two dogs shagging.
And the comments are coming back. You know what? He's just Tommy, man, you're gonna have to write this out. I don't know what to say.
Tommy will be there, Brian. If there's
show, Tommy.
Yeah,
Tommy touches.
How about Tommy? I'll drop off.
He's playing poker apparently, but that's what he said. He's probably dogging. No, I mean, Brian, if there's any like international dog shows that are on around, a time in Canada, I don't know if that's a thing over there. Obviously, Tommy's
like a cross convention, and he crossed.
I won't go as far as a cross conventions. What they do, and I'm so happy.
Okay, right. Here you go, guys. There's the explanation right here. Okay, that's fair enough, Tom.
What are you saying, Brian?
So there's a thing that's coming back this summer.
Tommy's no longer top dog.
So
quiet.
Rough. That is very rough.
Brian, what were you saying?
Yes, so there's a massive festival here in the summer called the CNE, which is basically, imagine Winter Wonderland at Christmas and times it by 100, then put it on ecstasy. Well, that's the CNE. And they have loads of things going on. They do have a thing called the Super Dog Show, where it's all these dogs doing these tricks, and it's not so much Croft running through it. It's all light-hearted, but it's these incredibly well-trained dogs. So, Tommy, come on down, mate. It sounds like your cup of tea.
Yeah.
You get to meet and greet the dogs after.
Fucking hell, Brian.
Mate, just Google.
That's prostitution.
Just Google
You're becoming
CNE.
a pimp, right?
Just Google CNE Super Dog Show. And Tommy, you'll be excited in a very bad way.
Brian, the canine pimp.
Oh dear.
Jesus.
So yeah, football.
Yeah, I mean football. I only came on because obviously Nick had sent me the link. Barry had sent me the link, and I heard you started talking about my hero.
Oh, Gaza. Yeah, I heard that bit as well when I was coming on.
And I have to say, I mean, I've heard it from people, and I know people that know Gaza. I used to, like I said, he's been at my synagogue, and I know his former agent. I haven't spoken to him for ages, but apparently at the moment, Gaza's not in a good place. People, if you know Crackers from whatever channel
he tweeted something, didn't he?
He tweeted something saying he's had the opportunity to do something with Gaza, but Gaza is not in the right frame of mind now, and he doesn't want anything to do with bringing Gaza on camera or affecting him. And I feel exactly this guy, as people will know, Iggy is the same with me. This guy, I would lay my life down for Gaza. I love that man so very, very much. And obviously, being a fellow alcoholic, it's very, very hard to decide when I hear things like this. And right now, apparently, he's not drinking. Apparently, he's just not doing it. He's not in a good headspace at the moment. So let's hope that hopefully, what Johnny was saying about him scoring that goal, it's like, yeah, it looks sad, but it just goes to show the love that man creates whenever he's on a pitch. That even teams that he's playing against, even in a little friendly, will just go, "Oh, you missed a shot, you go have a ball," and celebrate with him. This man's huge. He's wishing better.
But Brian, do you know what? It's interesting about this. When I did a show on Monday about how Web 3.0 is going to change football, and it's almost an introductory show to what's going to happen. Anyway, Danny Kiriaki put in the comments like he doesn't like this Web 3.0 because it's going to mess up with people and there's going to be more mental health issues. Yeah. My counter argument was the issues were already there. Social media, the internet has allowed us to bring it to the forefront now. So, like you look at Gaza, George Best. Are you telling me they both didn't have mental health issues? Of course they did, but it wasn't discussed. Now the difference is nothing's changed. It was always there. How many depressed people were in depressed marriages, but didn't have the confidence to have a divorce or get out because it was stigmatized in that generation.
Yep.
Now it's different. People are more open about it. So I don't think it's anything new. I don't think mental health is new. I just think
it's not.
People talk about it. People
it's more encouraged to talk about it. That doesn't mean that
That's what I mean.
people do it.
One thing I will counter that with is that there is a lot of evidence to suggest that social media itself contributes to mental health problems.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I can see it.
We might not have had as much discussion over it, but the levels might not have been as high either.
Yeah, no. Rez is right, and I can back it up with the science. Rez has got a point, because the chemical that is released in the brain for someone who's addicted to alcohol, addicted to gambling, addicted to
social media,
things that are quite negative. Well, not social media, but to be liked, to be followed.
It releases the same thing
in your brain. It's the same dopamine. It's the same chemical reaction, and it causes the same outcome if you don't get the addiction.
It's reward. It's basically reward behavior. It's a reward for behavior, basically. It's just Pavlovian, essentially. There's a really good book out, which I've not read yet, but I've seen reviews and I've heard the author speak about it, called Stolen Focus. And it's by a guy called Johann Hari. And he analyzes why we find it a lot harder to focus these days. And he's not saying it's all social media, but there is a section devoted to social media, saying that it's the way it's set up is directly designed to make us react badly. The phrase that Facebook used, or that Facebook did an actual scientific study on it, on their business model, and their findings were that our business model basically encourages enragement is engagement, basically. So people actually become angry when they look at Facebook and other social media outlets.
Well, can I say something to make people smile? It's just come on my phone. It's been there for a while now. I've just looked. Arsenal Women's Champions League hope over after 2-0, 3-1 defeat to Wolfsburg. So they've got out of the quarterfinals. So wonderful news about Arsenal. Wonderful news.
If you go to it's a channel called Impact Theory, right? Impact Theory, there it is. And there's a guy called Simon Sinek.
I've seen him before.
I've seen him. He's very good.
Yeah.
Social media, particularly, talks about.
Brian, just so you know, the host of Impact Theories, Tom Billou, that's Lisa Charlambus's husband.
Oh, we spoke. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She used to be in our class. She used to be in our class at school. Anyway, if you watch that show he did, Tom Billou with Simon Sinek, he will break down social media and everything Rez says. He breaks it down over like half an hour, and it makes you think, wow, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I can't repeat what he says because he obviously knows his shit.
It's why I don't use social media much anymore.
Nor do I.
I go on Twitter occasionally to sort of see what's happening, but I don't use Facebook, and I'm on there, but I don't use it. I'm not on Insta. I'm not on Snapchat. I'm not on any of them, other than those two, and I don't use them a lot because.
Rez, what's important was, the other night when Sai was talking to Stale, what was important that whilst he was looking at these parallel sort of universe and metaverse and stuff like that, he says that he has the ability to flip from this world to that world and back again. He has the mental capacity to differentiate, first of all, the two worlds. They're not one. And two, to drift accordingly. A lot of people cannot distinguish the real life to this life, the social, the internet life. They can't distinguish it. They haven't got the mental capacity to do that.
And this is the danger of the metaverse. The idea of putting us all into it's. I mean, I'm not saying it's
the Matrix.
It's the Matrix. It's like the Matrix. It's creating a virtual world to live in but the difference between the fiction and what they're suggesting is that the real world still exists. Why should we need to move into a virtual world?
Only in our world does it. Like we're the last generation, maybe people in their late 30s as well, that we can bounce between online world and offline world. We can bounce between the two. But people who are 20, teenagers, primary school kids, Mate, they're teaching them programming at school. They live on their phones.
I'm aware of that. Absolutely.
They only know that metaverse world. This world here, what we're doing, they don't get this.
No, but the problem there, the problem there is that human beings, ultimately we are still biological animals, right? And we are still Stone Age animals. We are still cavemen, right? The only thing that makes us different from any other animal is that we have somehow managed to use our brain to create technology that far surpasses our biological abilities, right? You know, there are animals that use technology, like sea otters. If you see them, they'll lie on their back and they'll put a stone on their belly, and they'll use that stone. They'll grab a shell and they'll use that stone to bang the shell to open it up to get the food inside. So they use technology too. Chimpanzees will use a straw to, drill into an anthill and pull the ants out to eat them. So animals other than humans use technology, but none of it is way beyond their biological existences. That's the only difference between, but we're still animals. And this idea that we should be moving our biological and real existence into something that is virtual is something that is being sold to us. It's not something that we would necessarily choose to do. The reason that kids now are stuck on this is because as we've become more atomized as a society, we have this need to reach out to other people, and the only way we can actually do it these days is via one of these, rather than learning to talk to each other like we're doing here.
The woke society is up.
Yeah.
yeah. She's here for the wind-ups. That's what it is.
Yeah. No. Do you know what? I would if I wasn't on stream of consciousness, in terms of talking, I would have just said something like we are cave people, right? Because in that sense, yeah, you're right. But I will say this: I'm very anti-woke, right? I don't think Sophie's woke. I think Sophie is right in the right place, in that there are certain things you don't do and certain things you do.
She ain't in the right place.
Okay, well, maybe she's not. But you know what? No, but this is the thing. There is all of the Johnny raised it last week about the trans swimmer who was allowed to compete. Used to be a man, is allowed to compete with women, right? That sort of stuff is ridiculous to even discuss in terms of the vitriol that we get, and that's social media's effect. Everything is polarized. It's like or yay rather than having a discussion with each other. Anyway, I've talked enough.
No, it's important because we're talking about players, linking it back to football because it is a football show. People like Gascoigne, Georgie Best, what they're going through is not
Kenny Sampson.
This isn't anything new. It's just it's now in the forefront. It's been it's been talked about. Maybe if it wasn't talked about, would Gazza still be around? Maybe not.
Do you know what?
Maybe he wouldn't have got the support and the help.
Yeah,
but the thing is, Gascoigne, more than any other person, I will say this: he's been offered help by absolutely everybody in the football world and non. He has because he's that loved by the public. He truly is, and everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows his story and his traumas and stuff like that. But it's just saddens me because, like when I was watching Maradona, and I was like, man, this guy, if he carries on at this rate, how long? It's a miracle that he even made it to 60, given what he went through. And in my head, I keep thinking the same about Gascoigne. How much and how long can he go on in this life? Because let's be honest, whilst there's been some brilliant moments that he's given us as football fans, which there have been great moments, if you don't compare that to the life that he's had, apart from the very brief footballing life when he wasn't injured, which was quite bad, it was really dark when he got injured. Apart from that gap there, I don't remember a lot else that he can say he's had a great life. It's just been a real, and this I will always say about the media, and I don't know if the fans were people that were leaving bottles of vodka, people that outside his ass, newspaper, just so they can get a story out of it. Yeah. Absolute disgrace, man. Disgrace.
Yeah, so I mean,
and off licenses should have all refused to buy him.
This is where I'm going. I mean, what the son? I can't remember if it was the son or the mirror. Obviously, the son or the mirror tapped his phone and made him think he was going mad. He fell out with his family for a very, very long time because he thought his family were giving him all the information. He literally fell out with his family.
The paranoia was kicking in.
Then, when you mentioned the bottles of vodka, what the son actually did? This is when I refused. I mean, obviously, that we know what the son is back home, but with Hillsborough, the son. What they did is they put empty bottles of vodka and whiskey and they put a message in a bottle and rang the doorbell, and then Gazza comes out, sees the note, goes to get it, picture, look at Gazza on a binge. But the thing is, how any pub or any off license have the nerve to serve him horrifies me. Absolutely. If I owned a pub, which for obvious reason would be a very bad thing for me. If Paul Gascoigne walked into my pub and said, "Give me a pint," I'd be like, "Yeah, Gaz, I'll give you a pint of Coke, a pint of lemonade, a pint of J2, whatever you want. You are not having alcohol in my pub. I just physically can't give it to you." And the sad story about this, and I've got a real sad story about this. So my cousin used to work at, I don't know if people know it, Galvin at the Windows, which is the Hilton on Park Lane's 28th floor restaurant with panoramic views all around. My cousin used to be manager of that. And Gazza used to go there a lot when he was trying to get away from like the end of a bender or whatever, and drink there a hell of a lot. It was like it's one of his hideout kind of things to drink and not, obviously, and keeping the famous people there is like under wraps is one of their things apart from people on phones. And I was there with my cousin, and I used to go there and chill a lot with my cousin there. Gazza used to get so pissed that he knew my cousin well, and every single time my cousin walked past, he used to go, "Hey, Spurs fan," and whack 20 or 50 quid in his hand, walk past, and every time my cousin walked past, he used to do this. And every time Gazza left, he'd give Gazza his money back. And the most he had when I was with him is he'd given my cousin over £1,500 in him walking past. He's going, "Hey, Spurs fan, bang. Hey, Spurs fan, bang." Because he couldn't remember what he's doing. My cousin always gave it back. But the worst thing is, and it's on YouTube, and I show people this video, and it absolutely fucking sickens me.
Was it the cocaine one?
It's not so much the cocaine. He's in a pub in Newcastle, and he's talking about how he was around President Reagan's house, or yes. And the Pope, and there's guys in fucking Newcastle, that are filming this and just trying to keep him talk as long as he could. He's talking about playing pool, and he'll play with one hand behind it. And they're filming this just to get a story, or just to put it on YouTube for likes, or just to sell it to the nearest. Paul Gascoigne, not just to me, he's my hero, my footballing hero. Forget what you do with what he does off the pitch, on the pitch. I was blessed to see him a lot of times. I will tell you, and I say it every single show I'm on when this man comes up. It doesn't matter who comes in my life during Spurs. No one will ever come close to Gazza, ever. If that question goes around, you can have one player back in your prime into this team. Who would it be? Paul Gascoigne, every single time. The man is a living legend. The man was a footballing genius, and the man is going through such torture and that stuff that went on with Ray Moat. And they love him when he's talking football or he appears at games. But if they can get a story out of him cracking up, they'll be all over it. All over it. I hate the British press because of what that. I mean, I hate them anyway. But what they do to Paul Gascoigne and the fans that just take a video of him drunk, and the pubs that serve him, they should have that. If I had the chance, I'd get their license taken away, because anyone that serves Gazza alcohol, you're an arsehole. You're an arsehole. Or any alcoholic, not just Gazza, any alcohol. I know if I walked into the Scotland Yard and I went, "Give me a vodka and Coke," they'd be like, "Brian, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking, but you ain't getting it here."
Yeah.
It's
and
like, fuck the money.
Be. That's the way it should be. People,
exactly.
I mean, but again, this is the fact. This shows some of the diseases that we have in society at the moment. We're very, very individualized. That's why I said atomized, right? It's all about each person, right? We're encouraged not to think about others other than, at arm's length, because when they're behind a screen, it's different, it's we interact completely differently. I used to work in sales on the phone, and they showed us some of the information about the differences in how people react to when you're speaking to them on the phone or when you're speaking to them face to face. You know, stuff like body language, the amount that that's used when you speak face to face rather than on the phone, you know, the tone of voice, the manner in which you speak. And it's true of social media and just the manner in which we interact nowadays as well. You know, we should be doing less social media. We should be putting social media aside. Unfortunately, we're at the stage where it's still new. You know, Facebook has had that peak and people realize what it was. Twitter has had that peak and people realize what it was. Instagram is on that sort of rise as well. But then another one will come along. You know, TikTok is the latest one. You know, everyone's TikToking, right? Because they're right at the beginning of their little curve, you know, and until such time as the place becomes saturated and it's like, well, there's nowhere else, there's nothing else to do, only then will we start realizing and hopefully come back to a decent balance between actual interaction and social or virtual interaction. But for me,
Rez,
the metaverse is way beyond what is acceptable.
Rez, can I add TikTok? The biggest adoption rate right now is amongst 33 to 55-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, it will be. Well, it will be there.
On it.
Yeah, but I would imagine
a lot of people think it's for kids. Actually, it's adults.
No. I would imagine though, Stills, that might be because that particular age group will have most ability and the wherewithal, the time, the money, the education, in order to access stuff like that, because it's not the most accessible thing. Nothing technological is the most accessible thing for anyone to do. I would imagine it's a big group for a start, and on top of everything else, they will have the resources necessary to do it. You need to. I think if we knew whether or not that was per capita of 33 to 55-year-olds compared to other age groups, that would be a better measure rather than an absolute number on that one. I would say that's just my
Iggy, when are we seeing your debut on TikTok?
Yeah.
It's not something that interests me in the slightest. No. So it's
it will
maybe one day if I see that there's any actual benefit for me, you know, me being there.
You know, TikTok pay now. They pay people.
You see now. But this is what I'm saying. Unless something happens that maybe it will be a good thing for us, you know, for us that do this and stream and stuff like that, and it has any sense, then I'll say, okay, I'll look into it by all means. But right now, the way it is right now, I don't feel the need to be on it. I think I've got enough, like you said. I mean, just look at some of the WhatsApp groups that we got and stuff like that. You know, that drives me it drives me insane. That, you know, you could be working and then you come out and you've got like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of messages,
400 messages.
You know, it can go on, and just think to yourself, it's there's only so much hours in a day that you got to either do that and then you go on here and we do what we do here. So, you know, it's just picking and choosing, as in, you know, what and then sometimes, you know, like many of it, and people will know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just got to take a step back and say, like, I'm going to take a couple of days out and just like, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't felt the need to, you know, declare that I've got to, for example, take a step back, because I like to think I've got the balance right still. But, you know, but if you're like, you know, 100 miles an hour and, you know, you're here, there and everywhere, then you've got to say, you know what, sometimes it's a question of just taking a step back, saying, look, a couple of days off and spending time with your loved ones or family, whatever it is.
I mean, Brian, I mean, just to speak for you, Brian, you know, you recently left the number of WhatsApp groups because it was just ridiculous. Now, when you were over here, we hung out a number of times. And believe me, when you're in Brian's company, right, it's like he's got a bell on his back, right? Because it's always ding, 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 ding. It's enough to drive the person receiving these messages insane. It's like, because think about it, a phone is actually a really rude thing, right?
Yeah.
Because you could be doing something and suddenly starts ringing. It's going, pay attention to me. I'm calling you. You know, it's intrusive on an individual. right?
You know what it is, Reg?
I know why you did it. Yeah, and I
You know
understand exactly why you did it. Sorry.
Well, Reg, you know what it is as well? I mean, especially during the protest times outside the training ground or whenever he was fucking up and I was, obviously, there'd be times when, or if Spurs were playing, I wouldn't look at my phone and then I'd look at WhatsApp and I'd have over 2,500 messages.
Yeah.
And I said it to you one day, oh my God, I've got 1,700 messages. I'm like, if people actually think I'm going to sit, thank God WhatsApp did brought out that arrow down button that just takes you down to the bottom. Because I can tell you now, there is no way I'm looking at 1,700 messages, replying to hardly any of them. And some of it, there's either a debate going on or talking about
that's exactly what those messages are all about. A debate could be between two people, Brian.
Yeah,
and
but
it goes on forever.
You start reading the message and this conversation is going somewhere, and then someone else that's just started has then responded to a message even further back. So you're like, oh, wait a minute, let me go back and see what... And I was like, do you know what? And it's like my battery was lasting like 3 hours. I was like, wait a minute. When I was in England as well, I was like, I need this phone because if anything happens to Bob and I need to run or my family or whatever, that's what the phone is for.
Yeah.
And it just got to the point where I think at one point I was in like 14 or 15 Spurs groups, all regarding whether it's Levy out, whether it's just like when I'm over in England, like the family that we get together with, whether it's my Levy drinks, whether it's this, and I'm like, do you know what? Everyone's talking about the same bloody thing. Everyone's going to, and I'm like, I don't need my phone to ping, like 2,500 times. And I was like, do you know what? I'm done. I just can't.
The thing is,
you know what? My battery lasts a decent amount of time. I'm done. If any bullshit is going on, it's hear no evil, see no. I've got no clue. I don't know what's going on. And I don't need during a game my phone or if something breaks, ping, 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 ping. I'm like, Jesus goddamn Christ, I can't. And I'll tell you now, I was in one, and Stel knows which one I was in. I was in one group, I'm not going to mention names, where I actually lost the plot with someone. I lost the plot, and I called them out, and I was like, who the fuck are you to be saying this? And it was all about the protest, and it was getting near the end, and it was like, do you know what? Someone actually said in the group, do you know what? If we haven't signed a player by Sunday, which was the day before the deadline, I think we should start protesting. And let's all meet for a few beers and let's show them how it's done. And I was like, I beg your motherfucking pardon.
Yeah.
And I went absolutely mental on the phone. And as everyone knows, king of the voice note, it was a voice note. And I wasn't pulling any punches. And I was actually with Kim. And I looked at myself, I was like, you know what? I'm here with Kim to spend some time with Kim. Bob's in a coma. And here I am losing my temper. And I've worked damn hard to work where I've got to in my life, compared to beating my demons and everything. And my temper is a very, very bad thing. And I say it, people can go anger management. It's not pretty. I've done a lot of things I'm ashamed of because of my anger management and because of my temper. And I was like, do you know what? I can't deal with this because I'm going to snap. And if I snap, it's Pandora's box. I was like, do you know what? I don't need this. If I need to speak to all these people in the groups, I can reach out to them individually. I speak to Stel very, very regularly. I speak to Nick very, very regularly. I speak to Iggy very, very regularly. I speak to Rez and Alan very, very regularly. I don't need to do it in a massive group where then a whole conversation starts and your battery's not. It's just.
Do you know what, Brian? It's funny we're talking about this as well because I completely understand what you're saying, and initially when you're included in so many WhatsApp, whilst it's flattering that you're considered to be, but also you think to yourself, I feel bad to come out of that group because you're like, I don't want to be there, I don't come across like a dickhead. But sometimes you don't do it because you're particularly against anyone in particular, although that can happen as well. Some of the messages can be annoying, I'll be honest with you guys. But also you think to yourself, mate, like you said, it's going off all the frigging time because we're all in different time zones. It could be any time during the day. Those conversations have been had, and I'll share something else with you guys today because I have no problem saying it because I told Stel today. I can't remember if I told him directly or I said I think we should delete some of these WhatsApp group because I think like you just rightly said, Brian. If I need to speak to Rez, I'll message Rez directly, and the same goes with any of you guys that are on here because I have no problem saying we have one-on-one our chats, and sometimes it's just the way it should be, you know, because you don't need to like this public. It goes back to the likes, and it goes back to what you've just been discussing. It's just that sense of appreciation. You know, happy birthday. You don't need to put in the fucking group. Direct the message to the guy.
Tell it
Do
directly.
you know what I mean? It's we do this on Facebook, and the reason why I'm on Facebook, and it's because I have family abroad, and it's, you know, and I upload photos of family and stuff like that because they can see my kids growing up. Because some of my family I haven't seen in Italy for 4 or 5 years now due to the pandemic in between, so they haven't seen the kids growing up. So that's why social media for me is there for.
Sorry, Alan, go on.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was going to say, you don't even have to be in a different country. I mean, I've got my sister only lives in Lincolnshire, which is 100 miles.
Well, I mean, we're not close, as in we're not geographically close. We could be 2 hours away from here, and it's still enough for us to see each other every day.
I send Brian occasional messages. Sometimes I feel guilty because I know what he said.
You shouldn't feel guilty.
Never, Alan.
If his phone pins 1,000 times a day, it's not due to you. It's not your fault, Alan.
Alan. Stop messing.
No, I don't care about you. I don't care about you, Alex. It don't matter about you.
You know what we should do? Forget banning Twitter and Facebook. We should ban Alan. That's what we should do.
My name's not Alan. Look,
It's time for this. Right. Time for this, right?
There we go.
I've had enough of this, Alan, right? Okay, wherever you go, right? Always sending messages, okay? So your phone pings, okay? And it's from him directly, you know? It's too much. No, but the point is...
Alan's a gentleman, man.
When Brian, you know, when Brian or Iggy or Nick or anyone, when anyone sends a message in a group, right, I will not always sort of look at it then and there because I know there'll be loads of other messages. If someone texts me directly and they've sent me a message, I will at the very least read the first couple of words to sort of see what it's about, to see what at that time, because I might be busy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's a group, I'll just see, it will say, you know, whatever the group, Antonio Curry Club or whatever it is, for instance. I'll say, I saw that, right, I'll check that later. If I see a message that says like Nicholas Collison, right, I'll look at it and say, does it need a response straight now? Right? Yeah. Do I need to respond straight away? Is it urgent? But I'll know that I'll have to get back to him at some point, right? Whereas the group ones is like, it's one of 100, you know, it's one of 100. These are people that I value in these groups. There are people that I like in these groups, but it's when you're in a pub and there's a big group of you all having a conversation, right? You don't necessarily worry about what every single person is saying. No. You can't, if you've got 10 people around a table,
it's impossible.
You can't focus. Exactly. You can't focus on what absolutely everyone is saying. You know, you'll have your own little sub conversation as well. You know, it's like when you go to a party, you don't sit there talking at everyone, you chat to a couple of people, you know, and that leads to the question of quality as well.
I mean, during the game,
you can't get quality interaction with someone if you're all standing in a room shouting.
Can I ask a question about? It's a bit of a changing of the subject, though.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Fine. What do you guys think of this Premier League rule to have five subs next season?
The whole of Europe is doing it. We're the only country that have not done it. Yeah. Italy are doing it. La Liga are doing it. The French
what do you think of it? What do you think of it?
So I thought your question was going to be what do you call Jessica for short?
What I think of it that it benefits those who've got a bigger squad. So the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, those who have got 20, 25 players, they can field 16 players at a time. If, however, you're like Spurs or any of us that don't have a big squad where you've got maximum 13, 14 players, you haven't got 16 players to bring on. And they have to be done in 3 slots, by the way. So 2, 1, 2, or 1, 1, 1. You can't make. Do you understand? You have to do it in slot. There's slots that you can do them in.
What's the time gap between each slot?
No, you can. If I remember rightly, you can do.
You can do it any time.
Use 5.
You can do any time. There's no.
You're only allowed 3 slots while the game's in play.
Yeah.
But you can make a substitution at half time. That means it cancels that out. You still got 3 slots.
Yeah.
Sorry,
If you make
So wait, no, that's a bit
right,
weird.
during the game, you can make.
But Iggy, what happens if you pick up 2 injuries in the first half?
You've got 2 subs. You've still got another 3 to go.
Yeah, but you just say it's got to be. There's only 3 when the game's in play. But if you have 2 injuries,
I don't know. I mean, it hasn't happened where you've had 2 injuries in the first half. I haven't experienced it myself, so I don't know.
I think it happened to Arsenal a couple of years ago. I know
there's a concussion sub as well, so that could go up to.
Why do I get the feeling VAR is going to intervene in substitutions?
They won't because
VAR is checking if this substitution is legit.
Well, do you remember?
The numbers are right. I check if the numbers are right.
Because I was bringing the comments up. Can someone walk me through the rule again?
We don't.
It's not 5 straight subs. No.
There's got 3 slots.
Got a point up, and he doesn't know anything about it, and now we're all confused.
Oh, because you geniuses, you've really cleared this one up, right?
I just told you.
What a fountain of knowledge I found.
You can make up to 5 changes in 3 windows, but you can also use an extra window in doing one at half time.
You sound like play school.
So Dave, this is what I don't understand. What's
the round window?
Right, three windows. What's the gap between the window? Because if there's
there ain't none. There ain't no gap.
There's not 3 windows. You can do 2 subs, wait 1 second, do another sub, wait 1 second, then do 2.
No.
You bring, say, like in the 20th minute, and then a player or 2 players get injured. Yeah, they bump into each other. Yeah, so and it's not a head injury; it's just the knackered shoulders.
You make 2 subs in the 20th minute.
You bring 2 subs on then, right? If 10 minutes later happens, something similar happens, you bring on another 2 subs. Yeah, but that means you can only bring 1 more sub for the rest of the game. You can't.
So you can only make a sub. So you can only make these subs if there's an injury, not
you can make subs at any time. You can make the subs over the 90 minutes. This doesn't make sense.
This doesn't make sense. Right. What's the point of having 3 slots if I can literally make all 5 subs in the space of 2 minutes? This is the bit I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, when I say 3 slots, you can make it at the end of the day. You can make a substitution on 3 occasions, and when it comes to it, if you want to use all 5 in one of them, so be it. Yeah.
So there's there's no slots. There's no windows.
No.
The Premier League today announced a change to its substitution rules. From the beginning of next season, clubs will be permitted to use 5 substitutes during a match in 3 pauses of play, in addition to the half-time interval.
Pauses of play
can continue to be named on the team sheet.
So Barry, if I'm going to be smart and I want to bring on 5 subs because we're losing 2-0, there's 20 minutes to go and I want to make 5 changes.
Yeah, you can do it.
I can make 2 changes, tell my players kick the ball out, pause a play. Another 2 subs, kick the ball out, pause a play. Yeah. So like I said, I could make 5 subs in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So this rule's stupid. It's a fucking another fucking stupid. Who writes the rules, man? These people that write the rules, the laws of the game.
To be honest, the 5 sub thing was introduced during the pandemic because we had a lot of players with COVID and stuff like that. So it was introduced for that, and it was only supposed to be used during that COVID period. However, foreign leagues have decided to carry on with those 5 subs, and now have made it as part of their rules. The Premier League was the only one that still had this old rule, 3 subs.
Apparently, it's still included.
Yeah, and in the cups we had it. In Europe, Champions League, Europa, there was there as well. Only in the Premier League we wasn't implementing that. Now I think the Premier League have been told to get themselves in line with the rest of how the European leagues are going.
Yeah, but so
basically, in answer to the question, who does it favour? It favours those who've got the bigger squad. So somebody like Brentford or Norwich or anything like that, they're going to be against it because someone like if you're playing against Man City and you're having a good game against them, 60 minutes, 55 minutes ago, we got them. They've made 2 subs, maybe got 1 sub left. Now they're going to be like, shit, they can change the whole second half but bringing 5 of their players on, and it's a completely different. I see it in Serie A. Yeah. At half time, you can make a couple of changes, make another 2 in the second half. That's 4 changes you've made. If you're the bigger team, you've completely now destroyed the challenge of the little club that you're playing against.
You can see it now. You're 2-0 up in a cup game. 8 minutes to go. Bring on 5 defenders and just fucking park a bus of 10 defenders on the pitch. You can just see the carnage.
But let me flip side that and say that if you've got a substitute bench of 9 players, which is what will be allowed as of next season, 5 of those players know that any given point they can come on. It's not like make a 3rd sub and you're like, if you're there, the 4th or 5th sub, you'd be like, that's me done.
So the bigger the quality of the squad, the more this favours, right?
Listen, this will.
I'm so glad Levy's our chairman.
This will allow for hoarding of players. All right,
he's going to build such a good squad.
In the same way, look, everything that happens this is the rule, guys. Right? Whenever you see any kind of rule change when it comes to football, any kind of announcement when it comes to football nowadays, my advice to you is this: before you think anything else, ask yourself this question first: where's the money? Right? Everything that happens in football these days, every rule change, every new competition is about money. Okay, and the people that will benefit will be the bigger clubs because they have more money, right? Until such time as football governance is restructured everywhere, and it's going to take decades, right? This will keep happening. Shit like this will keep happening. It's like when they wanted to, increase the halftime period. Why? So you could have halftime Super Bowl-esque halftime shows. Right? Where's the money? Yeah? 5 substitutes. Where's the money? Yeah?
I mean, the people look
Qatar
at me.
World Cup. Where's the fucking money? Yeah? Simple. Ask yourself that question whenever you see a news story about football. Where's the money?
Yeah. I mean, people think I'm mad.
In answer to Stell's thing, I'm delighted we're going to have this 5 sub rule because we're having such a big summer. We're going to need the extra space for all the incoming. They're all coming. The Dybalas, the Depays, the Vries.
It will expose that even more, Brian. That
exactly.
For us, it will expose that because you're thinking we've got 5 subs to make. Who are we bringing on? Who's the 4th or 5th sub?
We've already got Scarlet and Divine. We've already got Scarlet and Divine. Soon, Stealth players will be. Your son will be on the bench soon.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the excuses to come out from our fan base, and then for me to go to full-blown DEFCON 1 war with the fans over the excuses. I'm waiting for the excuses now. But we're not that kind of a club.
That's what I do now, Stella. At the end of after every bad decision he does, I literally put a tweet out and glorify it, and then say, please leave your excuses here. I'm dying to read and reply to each and every one of them. And funnily enough, they've gone quiet recently.
I'm going to hear it. No, but you know what? This is the thing. What will happen is that it's about getting to critical mass point. Yeah. So they've been studied. Basically, what you need is about 25% of a particular group to be of the same thought for things to start changing. And that's all that we're doing right now is just getting the sort of those that are sick of Levy and Enoch to that 25% point. When it gets there, the whole thing will snowball. And you know what? That fucker will have no chance at that point. Yeah? He will be a dead, bald man walking.
It's like a dream
at that point.
It's like a dream come true if that happens.
As I've said on every channel as well, I don't care when it is or if it does ever happen. If I see on my phone and I'm in Canada and I see Sky Sports breaking news, Anthony Martial signs for Spurs and is holding a Spurs shirt, within 48 hours my ticket will be booked. I will be back in the country, and this time I will not leave till he goes. And that's a promise. I will drop everything here and say, Elano, you can come with me, or where I'm working, I work from London. I will not come home until I officially do everything I can to get Bastard out.
Brian,
because if that man,
Brian, you may want to ask the missus, mate, get the green
No,
light first.
mate. It all gets to the point where if we stoop that low and buy a player that we could have bought the first time, but funny enough, funny story, we wouldn't pay the money.
No,
then flops
exactly.
at United, then goes to Sevilla and flops, and then we think, oh, let's bring in another Premier League player that can't get the job done, but maybe we can rejuvenate his career. I don't want to see rejuvenating careers. I want people coming at the height of their careers, ready to add to the team. And if this happens, to me, they're talking about, and I'm not going into this because it's such a nonsense story, and I said it yesterday on the Love Lounge, and you heard me say it, Iggy. And Nick, if this deal did go through, this Kane, Martial, if that went through, to me, that is the exact same equivalent, obviously money a lot more, than Berbatov, Fraser Campbell.
Yeah.
That's the exact same standard in what you're doing, and I will drop everything, and I don't care if it takes a year, 2 year, 3 year, 5. I will not leave England. I'll come to Canada on holiday where I will not leave England till he's gone.
I think I'll lose all my friends if that happens.
You shouldn't have to lose anyone, man, because people's opinions are people's opinions. You shouldn't have to lose people.
No, I will. Okay, like most.
You know what?
My social media following will just tank.
But listen, Stel, do you know what? This is the thing. I remember what you said about. I remember what you said with regard to fans. The thing you got to bear in mind is that there's a difference between someone who is the causative factor of something and someone that is a contributory factor to something, right?
100%.
And that's the thing. The fans didn't cause this. We might have contributed at times because we're human, we're flawed, But the point is, and I raised this with Alex as well. Alex turned around and said, I can't do anything about Levy. Levy's never leaving, so I'm going to blame all the problems on Paratici. And it's like, that's silly. Just because you can't do, just because
I told you the fans are the problem. I told you the fans are the problem.
No, but that's the thing. They might contribute to it, but it's a logical fallacy to say that they're the cause of it, right? There's a difference between causative and contributory. Contributory factors can be altered, right? Causative factors can't, because once you've caused it, it's there. It exists. What Levy does continues what he started. What the fans do assist him in doing that, but it's not set in stone. His is more set in stone than what they do. They can be altered. And so it's a case of making them understand and giving them the information and getting people on board.
Let me flip
to
this.
That 25% point.
Let me flip this, right?
Yeah.
When Liverpool built the new stand and they said, right, it's going to be £77 a ticket, the Liverpool fans said, no chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they all got up on the 77th minute of the opening day of the stand and they exited. So half of Anfield's now empty. A week later, it was bad publicity. Right.
Yep. So
is it fair to say the fans are the reason the prices got changed?
Yes, but that's the fans. You see, you got to identify the event that occurred. The event of them raising the price was a causative factor caused by the board. The dropping of the price was an event where the causative factor was the fans, right? The fans can, when it comes to Spurs, the fans can be the causative factor of a change in regime, but they're not the causative factor of the regime doing what it does, right? So saying that they are responsible is too strong.
Yeah, but hold on, that's not what I said. My comments were, if you're going to blame Levy and you're going to blame Enoch and you're going to moan and complain about them and do nothing, then you are the problem. That's what I said. Then I said you the fans are to blame.
Yeah, I don't. And listen, on a broad level, I understand exactly where you're coming from, because there are people out there that still back Levy, and I think to myself, are you suffering some kind of industrial strength cognitive dissonance to think that? But they do, right? The problem is that people's mind takes time.
But if
you're not going to get them to suddenly change. Sorry, still go ahead.
But if they back Levy and they defend Levy, but they don't ever moan about it or complain about no trophies, failure,
fair enough.
If they say it's part of the process, it's on a journey, I don't see them as
fair enough.
I don't see them as a problem. I was talking about fans who moan, complain, Go on YouTube 24/7. Fuck Levy, ENIC out. Oh, the transfer policies they're the ones.
The only problem I would have with that is that if you don't want to protest, say like what Brian was on about before at the training ground, you can protest in the stadium. Actually, it has more of an effect because it's done.
You can boycott the club shop and not be on YouTube wearing the latest third kit moaning about ENIC.
Absolutely.
But there's all of that. There's all of that.
There's also the possibility that these people might not necessarily recognise that by buying the strip, by buying food in the stadium, that's contributing to the problem. So it's a case of making them understand that that's the case. And on top of everything else, the other problem you've got is this as well. Is that if you turn to someone and say you are at fault, a lot of the time what they'll do is actually double down.
Get it back up.
Right? It's all about
I agree with that.
Right? And that's the thing. I agree with what you're saying, right? In broad terms. Yes, they are a contributory factor because if everyone who really did not want Levy and ENIC in there actually did something, then things would change. But that's the nature of any kind of campaign, any kind of protest. There will always be those that will say it and they believe it, but they won't be able to bring themselves to actually go and be active. They're not all Brian, right?
But that's my issue because you see, I saw all the Arsenal fans, 5,000 of them. The second time it was 7,000. Descend on the Emirates. 2 huge protests in the summer. Then they went and spent the most money out of anyone on players, and now they're favourites for top 4. I saw United abandon a Premier League game, and then they went and got Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho. Whether they got the manager right, it's different. Then I saw Liverpool. So when I look at fans acting, and then I look at us, and we win fuck all, and we moan about it. For me, I stick to my guns. The fans.
Chelsea did it as well.
Well, no, but this is the thing.
I think our fan base is weak, Rez. I think we have a weak fan base.
Chelsea did it as well.
There's something I have to bring up, and I'm happy you mentioned that name, and I'm going to bring this up now. And Chelsea are going to show us up as fan bases once again this weekend, because I don't know if people have seen it on social media and whatever. Chelsea are absolutely outraged by the Ricketts, and I mean very, very badly. They have gone to town.
The Ricketts? What do you mean the Ricketts?
The people that own the Chicago White Sox or Cubs, whatever club they own, because they came out. One of the owners have come out in the past with an email saying, "Any Muslim is my enemy," and it's got out. And Chelsea fans are going ballistic. And when I say ballistic, they have said, "Listen, we do not want these owners." Now, remember what
it's not good look, is it? Fucking hell.
They have gone to town and saying, "Listen, the Ricketts can't get to the game or won't be at the game on Saturday, but we're at home to Brentford. We want a mass protest all game and outside protesting against the Ricketts." And they started this yesterday. And there is going to be a mass protest during a large portion of that game at Chelsea, and they organise it and get on board within 3 days.
Do you know what makes me laugh about this?
This further supports what I was saying. Our fan base is weak.
Yeah.
What makes me laugh about this particular stance that Chelsea fans themselves, and I'm not to be fair, I'm not saying that this is all Chelsea fans are like this. They're making a clear stance to make a comment that an owner has made
enough fans
in the
to
past.
make it stick.
No, but they're making a stance over something of a racist remark of what an owner said however many years ago. Well, I don't know the history of how far back that email goes. Chelsea fans. Do you understand what I'm saying here, guys?
Yeah, they've got a racist undertone to their club anyway. Yeah,
as Ben said.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's all Chelsea fans, but it's just amazing how they can take a stance over that.
Yeah,
but they won't take a stance amongst.
But it feeds into what Brian and Stella are saying, right? It's a fan base that when they become exercised, they come together.
Yeah.
Do you know why Liverpool? I said this on another stream recently. Do you know why Liverpool fans managed to get the change rescinded? Because they're far more united than we are.
Up north, yeah. The more north you go, the more united they're.
This is one of the things that I always I always rail against when it comes to those that you would describe as Levy inners. We are protesting against Daniel Levy, or we are critical of Daniel Levy. They are critical of us. They don't give, a lot of them, not all of them. There are some that are very, very nice and very sort of open to things, but a large contingent of them will sit on their streams and spend time talking about us. Whereas we spend most of our time, the majority of our time, talking about Levy. We're talking about the club. They're talking about us.
Rez.
And that causes a bigger problem.
Rez,
because a lot of people will say, I don't want to come out because I'm afraid that my friend might look at me differently as well.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
See, you see, this is why when I asked the question to Last Word on Spurs and Cheese Room, and initially I was just asking the question, they got rattled because I hit a nerve. And when they couldn't then handle it, it got stupid. And I stick to my argument with both those channels, Last Word on Spurs and Cheese Pod. You cannot tell me that you are a balanced channel where people come on and you have all opinions and it's balanced when you never take action. The people that come on, you take no action in the words that you then want to talk about and debate on your show. I can come on and talk about Levy out, Enoch out, but I will back it up. Like, so where's the balance in the show? And you never talk about both sides equally. Like, if you go on their Twitter feeds, oh, well done to Paratici for signing the players. Oh, he could have done slightly better with the Emerson deal. Well done to Tottenham for securing sponsorship. But at the same time, they'll show balance by saying we could have spent our money better on players. But when it comes to the big issues like the protests and fans protesting, why do none of you talk about it? If you're a balanced show, at least say, look, there's fans protesting. We should talk about the protesters.
You know what the thing is? I mean, I'm not saying they are. I'm not arguing. I agree with you. But I would imagine, and I'm not saying they are, but I would imagine that anyone who does that, who talks about being balanced, is probably not.
Of course,
right? I'm not saying that. I'm not making that accusation to anyone, but generally, anyone who has to talk about it won't be, you know. But the point of this is that I have railed against certain people. Everyone here has been a witness to it. I don't hide it, but at the same time, I also do think about trying to convince someone. If I feel that someone can't be convinced, I won't even wait. I'll say whatever I feel like. If there's someone that I feel can be convinced, I will go about trying to convince them. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Maybe I'm not good enough to convince them. But the point is that we've got to get to a point where we're all focused. Those of us that want the change are all focused together, right? And we've got more recruits available in those that say at least that they want Levy out than those that explicitly don't, you know. And I think that we need to be more supportive of them.
Rez, it's an agenda. Rez, it's an agenda. They're deliberately trying to sabotage it. Like I said it to the guy, the Spurs web guy, Seb. He puts that 16-page tweet. Took him about 2 hours to write. And I said, mate, why have you gone out of your way to put this huge essay from one of the biggest Spurs publications against the protests? Why would you do that? Like, and then you call yourself balanced.
Well, listen, I mean, what's this
and
face?
then, well, you know, check this out. And then, when the Spurs season ticket renewal thing, the debacle that's happened, and the rejection of the board to engage with the Spurs supporters trust,
absolutely.
The first thing I did was I went onto Spurs web and said, "Why haven't you covered that story?"
Yeah, absolutely.
His answer was, "It's on Twitter. Go on my feed. It's all there." He goes, "I'm too busy. I can't cover everything." I said, "You did a 2-hour spread on the protest and why you're against it. Where'd you get the time for that?"
I have to say, on that spread, you know what? Cody Mack, who's in the building, will know. I didn't get to watch that because obviously on that was the build up to the 31st protest, and do you know what? That kind of day, all of our timelines were absolutely dominated by me and everyone at the training ground and whatever. Everywhere it was Levy in, Levy out, Levy. It was going berserk on Twitter. And I didn't get to see that until too late, but I saw Cody Mack's one first, where it said literally a thread why I'm not going into the protest.
Yeah.
I live in Canada.
I live in
End of
Canada.
thread. Mine is better. I sent Cody Mack a voice note, 3 minutes of me hysterically crying, crying with laughter.
Anyone who
real
doesn't
quick,
live in England,
you need to answer that question. I'm glad this is your Paddy. I think
no. I refuse.
Just for you to clarify.
No. I refuse to speak to Paddy Harnett, and I'll tell you why. He is a toxic person. That
no, he's not.
Okay, yeah, whoa.
Your opinion, my opinion. Your opinion, my opinion.
I don't want that kind of stuff.
Okay, all right, fair play.
Here,
he's not toxic.
We're not on anyone's
I take
side.
it back. All right, because it's your show, I take it back. I reword what I'm going to say. The abuse and the hate I received from this individual when I challenged the cheese room, because the cheese room, the caller on his show called me a tosser. I've never called him names like that. Right. This man here, Paddy, jumped to the defense, and I'm not having it. So I don't care what Paddy says. And I went out of my way. Privately, I spoke to Paddy, and I said to him, I'm not talking about overseas fans, Paddy. If you're from Canada, America, Argentina, Brazil, India, Japan, I don't expect you to protest. You can't fucking get here. It's ridiculous. I'm not talking about you. And I said that clearly to Paddy. So for him now to put this here and ask the same question, what is he getting at?
The problem we've got, he's
on a wind up.
Can I just stop you there for a second?
Yeah, go for
it. The problem we have is that we can't bring Paddy on because we're full to answer, and then it would just turn into a slagging match anyway, right?
I won't slag him.
No, I don't. That we can't have because he's already responding in the comments, which is his prerogative.
He's playing the nice guy, man.
But we can't have the back and forth, right? Yeah. In that sense, right? We can highlight what others have said, but we've got to be careful as to this. And this is the problem as part of our conversation.
Right. Okay, I'm going to say fans. I'm going to say this because I will lose my shit with these people, right? You can play the nice guy publicly, Paddy and all the other hundreds of you. You can play the nice guy publicly, but off these shows, privately, you're very different people. And it's not what I would call really good, in my opinion, to me. And I'll say the same thing to all of you that I said to Paddy and all the others that tried to label me as toxic. Stelios, you're the reason we don't protest. You're the reason that we're not leaving out because you're toxic. Really. So the reason you don't protest is because of me. Well, here's a fact for all of you. There's 1 million, 2 million Spurs fans in the UK. Are you telling me 2 million Spurs fans don't know? They all know me. Fuck me. I've only got 3,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people that know me from my little poxy show. Hardly anyone knows who I am in the Spurs fan base. So why aren't they all protesting? Because they don't know me. So when people label me as toxic and the reason they don't protest, it is such a get out, easy, cheap excuse. And as soon as I hit back with, but there's millions of Spurs fans in the UK that are leaving out. Let's say even 10,000 of them that don't attend the protests. They don't know me. It's an excuse.
But do you know what the point is? Do you know what the issue is? Look, let's say for instance, there's someone out there. Let's call him, Des, right?
Yeah.
Who is Levyian, staunchly Levyian, right? And will be trying to sort of play people off against each other. The worst thing that we can do is actually turn on individuals or call out individuals because it just sets up things. And again, it's not me disagreeing with you. It's not disagreeing with what you're saying. It's about you could say it better. And it's not just you. It's not me saying this just about you. It's all of us. We all have a problem sometimes. I lose my temper far too quickly with certain people, right? I should be much more emollient with people, but I'm not, right? And that's a weak
emollient. That's a word I've never heard before. Well done there, Red. Always said emollient. It's about getting these people to understand. It's like when I was doing my management training, they said to me the key to management is not being able to tell people what to do. It's about getting them or convincing them to want what you want, right?
And it's just about managing our fan base and getting us united, because we're very divided, you know. And I've made a commitment that I will do whatever I can to not attack an individual because they don't agree with me.
Yeah, but that's what happened to me. I blamed
yeah,
fans.
no, of course.
And then I got labelled toxic, negative,
absolutely.
pessimistic, angry, diabolical, every name under the sun.
Right.
I never labelled anyone.
Right. But the point is that when they will label us. They will. Right?
This is what I've noticed, Rez.
We should respond in the way that they might expect.
This is what I've noticed, right? I called him toxic because he knows what he did, right? And I blocked him. And I'm listen, if people are going to publicly put stuff in the comments, I'm publicly going to respond. All right. He said here that he wasn't toxic and I blocked him. No, I blocked you because you were bloody rude, man. That's why I blocked you, Paddy. If he's cool with Brian, brilliant, good. Be friends with as many people as you can. But with me, sorry, I cut that off because I didn't like what you were saying. And the thing I've noticed, Rez, is if you are Levy out, we attack the argument. They attack the person.
I know.
And this is when do you ever hear us call them Levy-inners? Or
I do occasionally.
Those bloody Levy-inners, they're all toxic. They're the no. My message is very clear, and it's been diluted and mixed up in Chinese whisper. My message is clear. If you are Levy out, if you are Enoch out, and you're not happy with the transfer policy, the way we spend money, the way we haven't won trophies, the merry-go-round of managers, the diabolical ins and outs of players, if you constantly moan about it online and you do YouTube shows where you're earning money and super chats and all you do is debate, and you want change, you're sick of it, stop it unless you're going to take action. Because if you are one of those people and you don't take action, I'm sorry, you are the problem then. They're the fans I'm targeting. Rez, maybe you've made a point.
I'm not going to say. I'm just going to.
I've had an epiphany.
I'm going to ask for other people's opinions because we've been going back and forth for a while.
Rez, I was just going to say, just to wrap up. Sorry, I was just going to say, Rez, maybe I need to be more clear and say the fans that I am blaming are the ones who want change but don't do anything about it. Maybe I should be clearer with that. And they've got to be UK fans as well. Like I'll put some, small print into it, just to prevent any confusion.
How far do they have to live away from Tottenham?
No. I'm going to let others. I'm going to let
Basically,
What's the rest of the panel's thoughts in terms?
Well, no, I've got to. If we're doing this, I have to follow Stel with this now. Now, obviously, people know mine and Stel's history. We've known each other for 30 odd years. We were in the same class together at the same school. And we were very, very close in school. Then, obviously, he went to uni. I went down my dark path. Whatever. But the way me and Stel got back to talking and being as great friends as we are now is on various Spurs social media groups that we were both in. We would both be saying exactly the same thing about Levy out. Be saying exactly the same thing. And then we were like, I wanted to do a channel. He wanted to do a channel. We were like, well, why don't we do this together? And obviously... And now Stel and I are back to where we were when we were at school. Now, we have been very, very Levy out like I said, Martin Yole was my straw that broke the camel's back, whatever. So we've seen this for a very, very long time, and we've been very, very vocal. And I would say, obviously, with me going on We Are Tottenham TV, and from the very start, coming on about in Levy out stuff, I would say that if you said to people that are in the YouTube community, name the two most passionate anti-Levy, you're probably looking at me and Stel. For the way, for how long we've been saying it, for the extent that we do it, for the stuff we'll do. And when I first started going on We Are Tottenham TV, I was getting some fucking dog's abuse. And I was getting it. And then obviously once the Super League came, it was like, oh, wait a minute. What he's been saying all along, and then obviously I don't need to go into the ins and outs, but we all know what's been going on. And then obviously Stel and I have been this way for a very, very long time. And you have to remember, there are some people where for me, like I said, it's Martin Yole. For some people, the Super League was the straw that broke the camel's back. For some people, it was the manager debacle. For some, it was Nuno. For some, it was there's different levels of how deep this goes. And for me and Stell, this is a very, very deep wound that just keeps having salt poured into it. And Stell and I can be very, very, very outspoken. Very, very outspoken. And there's been times on YouTube where I've snapped and I've really gone for people, which I instantly regret. Now, people like Paddy even put on a Twitter when he was actually defending me the other day, and he even said, you know what, when Brian started, I thought he was an idiot, or I think he used the word plank to be exact word or whatever. But he said, now I've really grown to like him and respect him because he'll listen to the other viewpoint, he'll debate it. He doesn't. When I came on We Are Tottenham TV, I was leaving. I was shouting and screaming, and everyone knew me for my rants, and it was just shouting and screaming and entertainment. But now I speak more like this, more factual, more, and I will listen to debates. And where I've gone, like I've said, I've had this conversation with Stell. Where I've gone one way, Stell's got. I completely get what Stell's trying to say, and I think where Stell's missing link is exactly what he just said. Exactly what he just said. And Stell, one thing I will back Stell 100% with is when we were at the Levy Out protest for the NFL, and Rez is where you and I met for the first time in person. Nick, it was the first place. Iggy, I met you. Obviously, I've met you before, but that was there. We got told that we were anti-Semitic. No, we weren't. We got told. And there's another one.
I got told I don't protest. I got told I don't protest.
There's another one, Graham, who is a big part of this. Big up, Graham.
Graham's
we got told that we were drunk. Half of them, including myself, are alcoholics that don't drink. Some of them, yes, they do drink. They were saying we were being rude and abusive to people. No, we weren't. We had the police coming and chilling with us, saying, "Guys, thank you for being so people." It got. Whereas we attack, the word still used, where we attack the argument, certain people will attack the person.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
will. Now now listen, this happens in all walks of life. Paddy, in my viewpoint, I haven't got the same relationship I have that Stell has with him. I get on well with Paddy, but like Stell said, there's people that can't stand me. There's people that can't stand me, and each to their own. I've now grown to the point where I care more about the people that may not love me. I mean, I've got people there that follow me, that love me, that I've got this platform and really appreciate what I'm doing. There's people that then agree with what I'm doing. There's people that don't agree but understand that I speak and I will debate, and what I say is coming from the heart and from what I see. And then there's people that will just say, "Oh, Daigle's at it again, oh, fucking fuck it," and all that. And those people now, I've learned, like, listen, like I was saying before with the WhatsApp groups and anger management, whatever, I'm not rising to it. What Stell is saying, I agree with. The way he goes about it sometimes, and I understand when he goes after YouTube channels, I do kind of understand it, but I don't kind of. It's hard for me to get on board with it because it's those people that we need to change. And for me, from my viewpoint, Stell has, and like I said, Stell. If this is what Stell wants to do, this is what Stell wants to do. Me and Stell will never ever disagree on Levy Out. If Stell says to me, "I'm going to do this for Levy Out, will you join me?" Unless he's saying I'm going to do something stupid, I will always back Stell, and Stell knows that, Brian, and I know that, vice versa.
Just so people know, because I don't want people to think I just attack YouTube channels.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
I know stuff, like I know the Cheese Room. Part of them, they are part of the Spurs Supporters Trust. They are members of that organisation. That organisation has failed at every attempt to force the changes needed. Sure. Levy does something silly like this season ticket debacle. We've written a letter. Okay, all right. You know. I hope that worked. It worked. It was a disaster, right? That organisation, for me, they do nice things for. They've done good work for ticketing prices away from home. They've done good work for disabled access for the fans, security and organisation for away travel. But what I care about the most is the football team and success. And when it comes to that, they're a redundant organisation, right? So the Cheese Room, there's history there with that, because I've countless amount of times said to the Spurs Supporters Trust, what is your purpose regarding the football team? Because for me, you serve none. You do not challenge the owners and the board on the thing that matters most to fans. And with the last word on Spurs, so everyone knows, they are heavily backed. They've got big funding, and they've got big support, and they've got big connections in the media world. You will never get a true, honest reflection of what is going on, because they will lose that backing. It is agenda driven as a result. So when I question them,
I asked this on We Are Tottenham TV, so I'm going to ask it again here. And everyone here, apart from Brian, is UK backed, right? Who here has been critical of the Supporters Trust in the past? Put your hand up.
Not fit to me.
Right. So say three of the five, and I'll put my hand up. 3 of the 5 people based in the UK, right? How many of the 4 of you guys have ever stood for election to the board of the Supporters Trust? Those of you who've been critical.
I won't do it, Rez.
No. But the point is this: you can't. The reason the Supporters Trust is the way it is, funnily enough, that thing that we've been talking about, the fan base. They draw their leaders from those that are members of the trust, right? And when they stand for election, they campaign on a particular platform, right? And they're selected according to that. If we want the Supporters Trust to be different, us saying you're not good enough is not going to change anything, even if they acknowledge that they're not good enough. Because what is needed is for people within the membership of the Supporters Trust to stand up and say, right, I want to stand for election, and my platform for election will be that we will turn the Supporters Trust into an actual protesting organization. Vote for me. And then if they're voted in, that voice then gets added to the Supporters Trust agenda. We can't criticize them for being what their membership has asked them to be.
All right, okay, Rez. So with whatever businesses I own, they do well for one reason and one reason only. I have the final say. I can overrule everyone. It's the Stelios way or no way. But I listen to my people, because otherwise I might lose the people and it's hard to replace, and I don't know everything. So you've got to listen to people, right? But at the end of the day, Stelios' word is final. No one can stop it. That's what happens when you're a 100% shareholder.
But the Supporters Trust is a democratic social organisation.
Exactly.
It's not a company.
Right, exactly. So you see where I'm going with this. So I make things work because of that structure that I explained. Now, I've been on FA committees. I've been a chairman of a league, and the Spurs Supporters Trust would be similar. Yeah. For me to put myself forward, it would be a fucking disaster. Do you know why, Rez? It's politics. If you can't play politics, right, Rez, I can't do politics because I don't like politics, and I'm not interested in politics. I want straight talk. Let's get on with it. I'm more corporate than what I am political. So I can't put myself forward, Rez, because I know it would be.
I'm not saying you should. The point I'm raising is that this is the most common complaint about the trust, and I'm not defending them with this, but in terms of,
I hear what you're saying. You make a good point. I get what you're saying.
People expect them to be something they're not. People expect them to be the voice of the fan. They're not actually the voice of the fan. What they are is the assistant to the fan. And the thing that fans want assistance with is stuff like disability issues, right? They want, access to the stadium. They want news about.
So why do they intervene with footballing matters regarding
ESL? Sorry, guys. I've just got to drop off now. I can feel a dizzy one coming on, so I'm just lay down and get ready for impact. Guys, okay, I will speak to you all soon. Let me just do my and as always, Levy out.
Take care, mate.
So Rez, like with the ESL, that was purely about the football team. Right? Why did they intervene in that then?
No, the ESL was about fans. The reason that the ESL was protested against was because it would ruin the football experience for the English football style fan. So those fans in England and those around the world that follow English or that style of football.
That's not what the trust said. The trust said the reason they stood up to Enoch and Levy, in their words, because I followed this quite closely, this one, because it was out of the normal playbook for the trust, right? And what the trust said was, on countless meetings with Daniel Levy and Enoch, when we sat in the meetings with you, on numerous occasions we asked, are there any plans to move Tottenham Hotspur into a European Super League or move us into a European version of the Premier League? And on every occasion, you said, no such plans are in place. We're not interested in that. So for them to go and do it, you categorically lied to our faces. Now, this was all about the football team, these questions. So for me, they have got it in them.
Football team. It wasn't. It was about... Listen, the reason the Supporters Trust has asked about the European Super League...
Well, it's the team that's going to play in that league, not the...
No, it was it was basically the Supporters Trust was saying to Levy, our fans are concerned that Tottenham want to join the European Super League, not for footballing reasons, but because we don't want our club to be in that closed shop. So he lied to them. And then when he announced that they were going to do it, they turned around and said, you lied to us before when we brought this issue to you. And now you've gone and done it. That's why they were so vehement.
Okay, all right. So even in that case, right, I'm going to agree with you then. Let's say it's not for footballing reasons, it's for other factors. But even in that situation, nobody in that trust said, right, we got to take tough action here. What did they do? They asked for a meeting.
Yeah. Okay, that is a weakness, I will admit.
And that's why fans have got an issue with the trust.
But no, it isn't. It isn't. Because the Supporters Trust is not a protest organisation. It is not an organisation set up in order to protest against the club. Their job is to be middlemen.
Rez, right? They came to the protest. They came to the protest. They came to the protest.
They came to the protest, but that may be at that point we are protesting this particular thing for this reason. But that's not what
they handed out their marketing material. This is our 6-point plan to change Spurs. Get on board. I'm like,
fine. That's fine.
Why do you hear protesting with us? You've come to the protest to use it as a marketing opportunity.
That doesn't change what they are. And on top of everything else, you're saying to them, why don't you protest? And then when they come and say, well, come and talk to us and become part of our organisation, you're complaining. The only way that they're going to become...
What about when they try to stop the staff from being furloughed? Is that not a protest?
No, that isn't. It's not a protest. That is them saying, we do not agree with you. It's not the same thing. Yeah.
Well, isn't that what protest is? I disagree the way the club's being run.
It can be, but it doesn't always have to be that.
I think they pick and choose when they want to. I think they pick and choose.
Not every disagreement has to be done in that particular way. I believe it should be, but in this instance, it doesn't have to be. And they have to be very careful because they speak for 20,000 people as well. They don't just speak for that proportion that want Levy out.
Yeah, but I think they pick and choose how they want to behave when it suits them, if I'm going to be honest with you.
No, everything that they do in that thing where they said, how should we respond to the ESL thing? They had a general meeting. Every member was invited. Every member was invited and said, we will discuss and vote. And there was a vote. It was their members that decided what action they should take, not their leadership board.
Fine.
That's why I say, if you've not stood for election, it's not that have you stood for election.
Rez,
have you actually been part of the process?
Then I've got a bigger issue. I've got an issue with all the members of the trust now. Because if they're voting to not take action, then 100% they are the problem. Because they had a chance to vote on what to do. And if their vote as 20,000 people was, let's write a letter, I'm sorry, then I'm right in what I say that the fans are the problem and they're weak because they voted on that action, which achieved nothing.
Because we know that not every single fan believes that Levy should not be in charge of the football side of things. So you can't expect a democratic organisation to go with every view. It's got to be.
They're disagreeing with his decision to furlough staff. They're disagreeing with his decision to move the club to the European Super League. They're disagreeing with his decision with the season ticket renewals. But he's the right guy.
That's not what they're saying.
But you just said not everyone wants Levy out.
I'm talking about their membership. I'm not talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about the members.
Yeah, but that's the case. That is.
Well, then I've got a problem with them all because
look,
they're a problem. They're all part of it.
How many political parties do we have in this country?
2 or 3 big ones and about 6 or 7 other smaller ones,
right.
I guess.
So when one of them is in power, does that mean that those that aren't in power have no right to speak?
Of course not, no.
Right. That's the point. That's what democracy is.
But they're elected MPs into the House of Parliament where they get allowed a
whatever
voice.
else the Supporters Trust is a democratic organisation.
But there's only one. They're unchallenged, right? They're unchallenged.
Have to go with the majority of the people in it. They can't represent you if you're not in it. But why should they?
But why would I pay £20 to people that vote to write a letter to Levy?
Because then you'll have a voice in whether or not they write or protest.
This goes back to what I was saying.
We're boring people, guys. We're getting very boring now. We need to move on.
If you want to move on, we can move on. I don't want to bore people.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Cool. Move on.
No, finish your point though, and then we'll move on.
Oh right, sorry, no. I thought that was
fucking hell, Rez.
No. Listen, it's your show, isn't it? If Rez said stop, I thought that was it.
Point. I'm not going to cut you off mid-point. Finish your point, and then we'll move on.
I think it comes down to the individual, right? Like I was saying to you, I achieve what I achieve because I get to have the final say. I don't have to listen to anyone. It's my choice if I choose to listen to people. But with these committees, like I've said to you, I've been on them before, FA ones, leagues, the Supporters Trust is the same. They have to listen to people, otherwise they'll get voted down. They'll just do right. You can't vote me out because one's corporate, one's more political. I got asked by the FA 4 years ago, Stelios, please come and join us. I'll make you a councillor on the committee. Help us change what is going on, right? Because they liked what I had to say about the structure of football at my level. And I said no. And they were literally begging me to join. I said, I can't do it because I've got to go in a room with 20 people and we've all got to vote on the outcome. I can't work like that. I'll end up ripping up paper and throwing... I'll walk out. And it comes down to people. Either you can play politics and have, everyone gets an equal vote and achieve it. That's why I don't vote for political parties, because I know whoever I vote in, it's fucked anyway, because there's going to be sub votes and other votes that they get to vote. So I think it comes down to the individual. My way is, let's take action, let's fix it, cut the jibber jabber, this and that, and all these 600 debates, 7,000 cups of teas and biscuits at meetings to then decide to write a letter. But other people, they like the trust approach, the committee approach, I'm more of the Alan Sugar way, the Richard Branson way. Let me, I got this. I've got this. So I think it's personality, Rez. I think it's how you're made as well, maybe. I don't know if I've lost people with that, but
no, that's fine. That's fine. Listen, we're open to all views. Thanks for airing them as well. But we do need to move on because
for the last hour and a half.
Nick is falling asleep, so God knows what's happening to our audience.
I'm not falling asleep. Don't
lie, Nick.
Can I just say?
I'm about to plug you
anyway, don't wake me up.
No, can I just say, right? We've taken your show over 2 hours, right? And that's any fine. Show that goes over 2 hours, it pushes you up the algorithm, so you've got more chance of being viewed by other Spurs fans.
There you go. Anyway, we need to announce that Shelfside Spurs Show, the channel, is expanding. We're getting bigger. As of Monday, you guys...
We're TTT.
Hold on a second.
Stelios is joining. Hey!
Ruined my fucking announcement and stuff. Thanks a lot, Al. Jesus, wet.
Sorry.
So to go along with SSS, we also have TTT, Tottenham Tea and Toast, with Alan and Basilford, although we're calling him Bal. Please do join us on Monday at 10 a.m. It's just going to be the two of them. They'll probably still be in their pajamas, so you'll get that thrill. They're not going to be providing tea and toast for everyone because obviously that would be difficult getting it through the screen. But they'll be chatting Spurs. We'd have a game for them to talk about. And yeah, it'll be great if you could tune in. Alan, anything to say on your debut as a co-host?
Yeah, thanks for the time, and I've got to set me alarm.
There you go.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Barry, what about yourself? Are you looking forward to taking the reins?
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We'll do a bit of. Stel, why did you ask me what to come on? I don't know, Stel. If I'm honest now,
I need to do what Levy does. I need to blame someone, right? I can't take accountability.
Blame me.
Blaming you.
Blame me. It's my fault. Sorry to all the subscribers for the last hour and a half. It's my fault.
Yes, blame Baz.
I'm toxic, and it's my fault. I'm just putting it
There
out.
you go.
No, so yeah, we're gonna talk about the Newcastle game. We're gonna find out what Al's got on.
There's a game.
There's a game. Yeah, there's a game on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah,
that we're all going to. Even
Iggy,
Alan.
wait. It's all right. Iggy, wait. It's coming. Relax. It's coming.
It's
Go on,
coming. It's
Barry.
coming. So we're going to find out what Alan's going to have on his toast on Monday, and we're going to also do a bit of a review of the back pages and Al's life, yeah. And the totalizer is just before we move on to the game and talk about football. Look at the size of Alan's totalizer for Sunday.
I'm moving to Canada, boys. I'm moving to Canada.
We're going to Canada.
Brilliant.
Oh, the Palace.
It's been brilliant. And to be honest, I think
Jolly boy,
we do need another just sort of another little push, right? So here it goes.
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. Because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, but I'm going to try and get there earlier. Because I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west near the media shop. I go up one level, and I usually have me something to eat there by the first grill bar, and it's actually in the west stand.
I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
And every time they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away. Like I usually do the driving.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half-time.
People, I just let you know, I only ever have one drink.
I get up about 3 o'clock, go on Persuasion with Eugene, and then in the afternoon I like to go on Tommy Talk. How's life?
Hey, I'm nothing like him.
Yeah, so
can I say something though, please? Right, because as I say, well, I've got a lot of money, so we might as well spend it at the bloody bar when we get there.
we've done brilliantly on this streamathon. We've raised a total of £19,911,991.19.
Yeah.
So that should get us like 2 pints in the stadium.
Yeah, but as long as you don't mind, I apologise. It's in the stadium, boys. It's just because of my mobility. I can't.
So
lovely to meet whoever does turn up there. It'd be great. It's
just us, Alan. We don't want to disappoint you. It's just going to be us, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
but you mean no one else wants to come and meet me? Yeah. Okay. Sort a lot of you.
If you like, if anyone wants, if you want to watch Alan drink the beer that this fund has purchased, then come along on Sunday. Come and say hello. I don't know where you're going to be, Alan. Where are you going to be?
The West Stand, opposite the grill bar, like near the north side. I think you said near Gate 106 or something, isn't it?
Okay, that was just a guess.
Oh,
if you could bring your Sharpies in case Alan needs to sign anything, breasts, shirts, cup, mobility scooters,
because absolutely, because the 19 million that we've raised. It's just we won't be able to buy a Sharpie and a beer. So if you bring your own pens and body parts, that would be useful. That would be helpful. From what I'm saying, you're okay with boobs, is that right, Alan? But not thighs. Yeah. Thighs is out for you.
Thighs are out. Yeah.
Right. So guys, So guys, bring your boobs. Okay, bring a Sharpie. And Alan will sign them for you. Right. We'll come to the Newcastle game. There's one talking point I wanted to just ask people about first, and that was this one. I don't know if anyone saw this.
No.
So people have been laying into Harry Kane for celebrating the England victory. I think it would have been against Switzerland. Oh, Macedonia. There you go. Yeah. Which was the game that Joe Gomez got booed at, and are saying that he's racist because of that. Thoughts?
Liverpool, simple as that's the way Liverpool think. They think anything happens to one of their players, it's disgusting. If it happens to anyone else, they couldn't give a shit. They don't even like England. They don't even like the English team. They put Liverpool first, national. Not bothered.
Anyone else?
I wasn't even. I'll be honest with you, Rez. I wasn't even aware of such Harry Kane. Like it mentioned there.
Yeah. It all started with the Maguire. So it started ramping up when there was a tweet about how Joe Gomez, who had been assaulted by an England teammate, got booed and no one said anything, but then Harry Maguire gets booed and it's a national story, even though Joe Gomez being assaulted by anyone has got nothing to do with whether or not the fans boo him or not. So it's that usual bleeding heart thing. And then I saw another tweet, a couple of them actually, basically saying, in the same game that Joe Gomez gets booed, this guy sends this tweet, and it was just an Instagram that Harry sent. What's it called? So I was wondering if anyone had seen it.
No, I will admit, I did. Obviously, I know about the Maguire situation. I was aware of that, obviously, like you were. But listen, a player that gets booed before a ball is being kicked is ridiculous. A player being booed by its own set of fans, England or club football, is ridiculous. A player that's maybe having issues for whatever reasons they may be at his own club, but has never posed any reasons not to be in an England team or badly represented the English jersey, be it on the field and off the field, should not be getting booed. He's the context of when he plays at Man United is completely different to the England setup. What they have, the stability that England have, Man United currently don't have that. They have unrest off the field. They have issues with the interim manager because they all know that he's leaving at the end of the season, which is not the case for England. England are a very stable team, despite all the joking and stuff like that we've done over the Euros and stuff like that. England are a stable team. They're on a trajectory. They're on a project where it's been ongoing now for a few years, which is now really in a situation, a position that's ready to win. Whether they go on to win a major tournament, I don't know, guys. But they have a block of players who have been together now for a few seasons, and they're ready to go ahead and do that. So the path and Maguire is a big part of that England setup. Technically, tactically, they shaped with the three at the back. Man United are four at the back. So it's a completely different vibe. And I don't understand who are the fans, those England fans, that are booing Maguire, where he's not ever stepped a foot wrong for the England team, which is obviously, of course, the complete opposite of what's happening to him at Man United. So I don't get how the two interlink for him to get such treatment. He hasn't been, I don't recall anywhere, at least at the top of my head, Maguire misbehaving in a off the field for him to be warranted these boos. I think he's, despite what you may think of him on the pitch, he's a professional off it. I don't know, guys. Is he?
He slapped up some women in Greece on his holiday.
Yeah, he was in a prison in Greece or something for
paid the police to get out of it.
Yeah, but do you know what? But that happened when it happened. If he was going to get stick for that, he should have got it back then. Why is it? It's not going to come out before a kickoff. This is not the reason why he got booed before kicking off the game, because there could be many players who can be booed.
No, Iggy, because you said he's a professional off the pitch. I would say, well,
no, I'm saying for what? Listen, I'm not saying he's an angel. I'm saying that I haven't seen of late. This is an incident that happened. When was it? Last summer or the summer before?
I think a year or two ago, yeah.
He's not going to get booed now for that, is he? This is what I'm trying to get.
No, he never got booed for
that.
That's
not justified what he did was right. I'm not saying that any stretch of the imagination. I'm saying that this has got nothing to do with anything that's happened to him of recent time. This has purely got to do that somebody somewhere doesn't want to see him in an England team based on the performances that he's been putting for Man United, which, open bracket, close bracket, can be justified. It can say, how the hell can he be in the team? And someone like Eric Dyer that's come, people have said Eric Dyer should be in the team. Other people have said, I've said that Tomori should be in the team. That this guy is. But that's the call that the manager makes. And he will be accountable for anything that goes on for and against England, which is always the case anyway for us. So I don't know, guys. That's my. I didn't know about the Gomez thing. I don't see what it has to do.
Can I ask you then, Iggy? Is it okay for any fans in any grounds in any game to ever boo players
at the beginning of the game?
At any point,
without even kicking off the ball.
At any point.
I think if you have the right, because you're a paying customer essentially. So if you're a paying customer, you have the right to. I just don't see what would it bring me going to White Hart Lane on Sunday and booing Emerson if he starts, or booing Doherty if he starts.
I know fans booed when Ndombele's name got read on the team sheet.
That's the. Yeah, but I get that, but I'm saying whilst he's out there performing for other, do you know what? This is what I do. If I don't, I'm just asking the question.
I don't actually have an opinion on this. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
This is what I do.
I'm just being stale.
When I can argue a player making a listen. Ndombele. When you talk to me about Ndombele, you know already I get over it. But for that 90 minutes that he's on the pitch, if I'm there watching. I'm not going to boo the guy. I'd rather stay silent.
But he got booed as soon as they read out, whatever. Number 15, Ndombele.
Do you know what? This is the thing I'll say. I don't believe in booing players. Not because necessarily the immediate response. No, but do you know what? The immediate response to that is, I paid my money, so I can do what I want. It's like, yeah, but I can dress up as the Grim Reaper and go and stand outside an old age pensioner's home. I don't do it just because I can. It's
whether or not face as soon as you said that.
Yeah, Alan, don't go out that
worried.
I'm not going out.
I said I don't do that.
He's got the money now.
The reason why I don't do that.
But you might have encouraged someone.
Yeah, just because I can do something doesn't mean I automatically have to do it or want to do it or should do it, right? The reason is, look, when they're on the pitch, right, and they hear boos, they don't know who it is. You can't boo Ndombele while the other 10 are on the pitch as well. Who you're booing, right? And the other thing is this: is that you can't criticize them into playing better, right? So for me, it's not a case of do they deserve booing? It's a question of, will it achieve anything? And the answer in my mind is no. It doesn't achieve anything, right? Booing.
I think that occasion when he walked off against the Wickham,
because that's because he was walking, and I booed as well when he did that.
Yeah. What about when Spurs were losing 3-0 to Man United, when the third goal went in, the whole stadium was booing?
Yeah, okay. See, that is an expression that is not trying to make them play better. That's expressing their displeasure. That I can understand, but I don't think it achieves anything. Right.
So weren't fans booing Maguire at the displeasure of him being in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I don't think it will achieve anything, and so it's something that happens. There are times where you can understand why it happens and it's appropriate, but if your team has played badly, booing them off the pitch, from my view, doesn't really do very much. I don't think it will having enough of an effect. So in general, it's like, don't bother. Except once or twice, there are times where you can understand it, or like with a specific player where it's obvious it's that player. Like when Rudiger, for instance, after he made that racism claim, when he next played at Spurs, every time he got the ball, the Spurs fans all booed him, right, to make a point. That I can understand, right, because it's like, you lied about us, and so we're going to vent our ire at you. That I can understand, but not booing your own team, at halftime, or a full time or anything like that. That I don't agree with. It's just pointless, in my view. Can't hear you.
You're on mute, Iggy.
Right. Okay. What I was trying to say, guys, I think if Spurs have played a rubbish half as they're walking off, you can show your discontent. I think that's perfectly, because you're showing your discontent not only once it's individual player, you're showing your discontent to the team, which is something that they can share that. What I don't understand in Maguire's instance is doing it whilst the guy's warming up. It has no relevance to the game whatsoever, unless you are just discontent at the fact that he's in the starting lineup. But that's not his fault if he's in the starting lineup. He's been selected by the manager. He's been. Yeah. I don't know what this message means, guys. Maybe someone can help me with that afterwards.
In other words, he wants us to go coffee.
If we don't go to see Ben and get a coffee, there's a comment up there. He said, "Can I call them all tossers because they haven't come for a coffee?"
Yeah.
So he's basically saying, if we don't come for coffee in the next month, then the T word is going to be used.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't come for a coffee
where?
Okay, so number 8, the Broadway in Woodford Green. Right?
Okay, number 8.
That is Ben's coffee shop. I've been there.
I know, because you spoke about the coffee. It's really good. I remember now. No, as soon as you said that, Rez, I remember you banging on about the coffee. Yeah. I like a good coffee. Listen, I'm Italian. I love a banging coffee. Exactly. I know Stel does too. So we're on the same page.
A good dessert. I like a good dessert.
Seriously, guys, Stel's obviously you like coffee. Iggy, I know, being Italian, the fact that coffee is
no, for sure.
Part of your culture.
Okay, Ben, it's a promise. I don't know when it's going to happen, Ben, but I promise you it will happen in the next month. I don't know, but we'll guys, Rez, we've got to go together. Okay. Let's make a pact that we'll find a day, and Stel and Nick and Alan as well if you want. We'll make a deal that we'll come together. And Sophie's waving at me like this, like a man in the corner over there.
To be honest, I think Sophie has to is mandatory purely to keep the 5 of us in check.
Yeah.
We could record. We could record like a 5-minute video and put it on all our podcasts and promote the coffee shop as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. We will do that. Yeah. Now I remember now because Red's banged on about the coffee, and I know that I listened to the coffee. I just couldn't remember in that moment reading it. Sorry, I apologise, Ben. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
We'll talk about it in the back room. Talk about
Graham has just said best coffee in town, so I'm sold. Yeah, and I've completely lost what my train of thought. So that's
booing fans, fans that boo.
We're just about booing and stuff. Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay to boo at half time, but not before the game.
Yeah,
we knew Ben. We knew.
You tell me by booing a player, not half time. I was talking about the team. If a team's giving you a shit performance, it's right. You're right to show your discontent. I don't see if I'm standing on the right hand side and I've got Emerson having a shit match. I don't know what me abusing him in that moment is going to do for my team. I don't know. You tell me. What's it going to do? If
I see Emerson on the starting sheet, I boo.
Okay, but is that Emerson's fault or the person that selected him to play?
I'm booing. They can decide.
Would you, if you're on the West Stand, say you're sitting there and you've got Emerson running up and down in front of you, would you be booing him directly there and then, as the game's going on?
Depends.
And it's the games that games in a balance.
Depends what he does. If he loses the ball, misses a tackle, gives shit pass,
you're gonna just let him know about it. You're gonna go full out, and if he's having a hard time against their left winger, you're gonna let him know about it.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man! Listen, I'm not in the same page of that, but that's it's your prerogative. By all means,
we all did it when we were 3-0 down against Man United.
Where
I think what I think for
can't pick and choose when you're going to
be. But you know what?
Well, you can actually. We do actually. That's exactly what we do.
On that one, I can actually understand it, and there's a reason because what they showed against Man United was very little desire and heart. That you can criticize a player into doing better, but you've heard abuse and you've heard booing of players that basically don't have any more ability to give. And the fans are in the stands expecting them to play better than they're able. That for me is pointless. What do you want them to do? Become better at half time?
No, I'm hoping the manager will sub them.
Well,
so as a manager, you need to have got a problem. You see what I'm saying? Though?
Can I say actually? Do you know what? Thinking about it, I don't think I'm booing the player. I think I'm booing the situation.
There you go.
I think I'm booing the situation.
Still, maybe. I'm not being funny. I mean, I see Spurs go down in the 70s. Yeah, went down in 76. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've watched every home game that season, and I cannot remember once ever booing that team off. I see some crap performances. I see some right crap players, but I still never booed that team off. Sometimes, yeah, don't get me wrong, they deserve criticism, yeah. But you want them. You might need something to. The booing might help give them a bit of a kick up the arse, but I just don't think booing. If I walked off somewhere and someone was booing me, I don't even know whether I want to go back out there and perform for them people because they're not showing the respect that you hope for.
Do you know what I think it is? Do you know what I think it is as well? It's your situation as a fan as well. I'll give you an example. If I was to go down Haringey Borough FC or Enfield Town FC, I wouldn't boo because I paid £3 for my ticket, £5.
Yeah,
I have no expectation.
Well, yeah, it's a lot more expensive now.
Yeah,
that's mostly why in them days
minimum £1,000 plus £30 on beverage. Then I think my tolerance and my patience levels they diminish rapidly.
Yeah,
but your discontent is against the board.
So that's what I said. I'm booing the situation. Yeah. It's not the play. I thought about it. I'm booing the situation.
I mean,
if I was Norwich, I'd be cheering them on to stay up. Like, come on.
I was at that game, the Man United game you said about, right? Yeah. And I remember shouting out, "You don't know what you're doing." I didn't boo, but I will admit, for one of the very first times I can ever, mostly was the turning point because I used to be on the fence really with Levy. I was one of the ones that was singing Levy out.
You showed your frustration, yeah.
I showed my frustration.
Yeah.
But I won't boo. Yeah, to be honest with you, the only two times I can say in that stadium where I would have ever been tempted to really feel like I wanted to show frustration and boo would have been when Hassan Ghali walked off the pitch and threw his shirt on the floor, and Don Belly against Morecambe.
Yeah, it's complete disrespect, isn't it? Throwing your shirt on the floor is just disrespect.
I didn't boo Hossam Ghali when he did that, or I didn't have the urge to, because I remember that guy having 4 of his teeth kicked out against Chelsea.
Oh, right, yeah
right. And and the thing you got to remember about that is that he was subbed on. He came on as a sub and then was subbed off, which no player likes, and it raises eyebrows when that happened, and it was a moment of frustration for the guy, right? I understood why he did it. I didn't like what he did, but I could understand why he did it, and so I didn't feel it was right to add more to it.
I think if he'd come off and kicked a bottle,
let's say Ndombele had done that, right? I'd be wanting his blood, right? Because he's never, in my view, very rarely actually sacrificed for Spurs, but Ghali did, right? Yeah. Ghali sacrificed for Spurs. He had his teeth kicked out, right? Yeah. I saw the match. It was the FA Cup where we went 3-0 up at half time and they drew 3-3, and it was the first time that Mourinho had ever failed to win a match at Stamford Bridge in his first tenure. And I remember seeing his teeth go flying, right, when he got kicked in the face, and it was like, that guy, as far as I'm concerned, has put his body on the line for my club.
Fair enough, Russ. Right? I don't remember the incident, and so I don't remember the incident. I mostly watched it on telly.
Yeah, no, but
I don't remember the incident.
Yeah,
I think it's just years. I think it's years of discontent.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's what's happening. You get a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and you put it all together.
If he'd walked off and kicked a bottle, like he kicked one of the bottles, even if he'd gone into the crowd, I mostly thought, that's thrown. It was just the fact the way he treated the shirt, of course, because my argument today is really they don't fucking play for that shirt anymore. You got, perhaps Harry Kane does, and even though he's one of our worst players at the moment, Harry Winks mostly goes out there to play for that badge.
That's true, he does.
He's a not very good player.
No, where you've got players that are going out there and they're really all they're worried about is, okay, I've had a right shit performance. Oh, look, I've got £200,000 this week. Don't matter. I'll go and do it again next week. It won't matter. I've still got the money. Whereas, as I say, I come, as I said earlier, I know it sounds silly, but people think I'm mad. I would love to go back to the 80s. 70s and 80s, because I can remember players, because they didn't earn money then, it was football. The sport weren't about football, money. The only team that was mostly backed a bit too much in them days mostly would have been Liverpool with Littlewoods Pools. You know what I mean? But other than that, everyone was really on a level playing field.
It's just generational, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
generational,
yeah.
different times.
Oh, look. Mrs. Sophie. Wave. She wants Mrs. Sophie. She wants a wave. She's in the crowd.
Mrs. Sophie, you're getting waved.
Hey.
Alan.
And
Alan,
the meeting of the Mrs.
Can I say how funny that was? You mentioned another woman's name without explaining why. So your wife's first reaction is, "Who's Sophie?
Okay?
Who's Sophie?"
Yeah, so I'm just doing Sophie online.
That was gold, man.
Right, can I just say, completely off subject, but if you guys have not tried, you guys got to try these. These are banging Nutella biscuits, absolute banging. I've had them with my drink here.
Bring them when we go
Iggy,
for coffee. Bring a tube and we'll try them then.
Right, Iggy, I've got to tell you, right?
Yeah.
I've had enough of him with the club biscuits. I'm now hooked on club biscuits. I've even experimented this week.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what you've been experimenting with, Alan.
Caramel clubs. They weren't very nice.
Gently.
I don't.
Is that Curly Whirly?
Man. I'm not about to
Oh, that is vintage.
Yeah,
if it'd been a Mars bar, I'd have been gutted.
Yeah, well.
Curly Whirly. That's up there with Karamak.
Oh, mate, the Curly Whirlies are the best.
Karamak, yeah. I love Karamak.
No, Iggy, when we go for coffee, bring those with you.
There won't be any left bread.
Ben, if you're listening in the audience, is there much disabled parking around your way? Because I need to be out of park.
There's a car park around the corner. There's parking. There is parking available. We'll sort it. Anyway,
I'm gonna need disabled parking if we're gonna be having sugary biscuits and cakes and sweet.
having established, according to what Yen says, Scouser's gonna scouse.
Yeah.
Let us move on to Geordies and not that one. Sorry, this one. Newcastle at home on Sunday. Have a chat, people. Score predictions after. Tell us your thinking. Alan, what do you think about Newcastle?
Absolutely dreading it.
I'm going to tuck into a Curly Whirly while you do
I'm absolutely dreading it. But this is the first league game my son has actually been to.
Stealth.
He's been to.
Jesus Christ! Look at that.
He's been to 2 other. How can I concentrate with you?
It's like Costco. It's like Costco over there.
This will be the first game my son's gone to in a league match. He went to the Legends game where we lost to Inter, which was, I think, 5-4. But we walked out when it was 4-4 because we didn't know what we had to do with the car travelling wise. So we walked out a bit earlier.
Drive normally.
Shut up, you. Right.
Monday's
the only other game he went to was when they'd done the screening of the Champions League. So he's a bit worried that he's a bit of a jinx. So we will find out on Sunday.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the.
That's okay.
That's fine.
You'll meet him in the West End. Make sure you sort of smuggle him and make sure he can't watch the game. You know.
Yeah, we'll lock him in a toilet.
That's it.
It's better than bringing
don't do that. He'll have nightmares.
Bringing the Gooner boyfriend though. So we've got to give you that, Alan.
That will never happen, mate. He will never go to a full match with me.
So
Stels. Sunday,
Rez, I can't predict. I'm literally. I've become.
You did it the other week on your own show.
Yeah, I mean.
You tell him, Alan.
Me, Barry, you, and JP. We've done our predictions for the rest of the season.
Yes, call him out. Call him out.
Don't give us that crap. Come on.
You tell him, Alan.
Because I asked you earlier. As JP kept track of them predictions we made.
I think Alan's just giving us more content to put into that Al's life.
Yeah.
Iggy, you know we usually get on okay, like especially talking on the phone.
Usually,
very soon I'm going to be telling you
Fuck off. Fuck off,
How's
life? Yeah, you know how we get on, me and you, Iggy. You know, sometimes I've got to tell you, fuck off. How's life?
I get him right on the tree, and then I'll get a little bit Larry.
That fucking Italian, behave yourself, son. How's life? You know you got knocked out by North Macedonia at home, and you ain't making the World Cup again. Yeah, good on you. Fucking behave yourself. How's life? I'm telling you. That Johnny's like this right now. He's like, yeah, clipping that. Cheers for the content.
Where is Johnny? Where is Johnny?
I think he's gone to get some rest.
Oh, right.
Fair enough.
It's bad enough him nicking off my pictures of Facebook. You know what on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's it. The dangers of the friend request.
Yeah, Johnny, I set up the stream, I get on it, I get off it, I go to bed and leave you lot to it. Johnny's life.
He's let me know. He's let me know he's enjoying this. He's been enjoying watching it rather than.
No, good on him, man. Yeah. Why not? Well, to be honest, there's quite a few of us on in it, so it made way for us also. Fair play to him. In his own show.
What are the dangers? What can we face? What are we likely to face against Newcastle tomorrow on Sunday? Sorry,
I don't trust our players. I never trust our players.
Fucking hell. Anyway, thanks, Stel. So anyway, my thoughts.
I think we'll win. I do think we'll win.
Mm-hmm.
But if we didn't, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think we will win.
He's so conflicted. Look at him. He's so conflicted. It's unreal.
Yeah. Don't trust the players. I think we'll win. Top four's on. Top four's not on.
No, we're not getting top four. We're not getting.
There we go. Let's just clarify.
Here we go. Back again. What were you saying the other day? On Saturday, last Saturday?
Yeah, you know what? I think everything's going for us. It's going
it was
for
an
us.
emotion.
You know
No.
what?
I never said that.
We're going to make top four.
No, stop it. How's life?
That's got to be the worst.
Spells life.
Yeah, that's got to be the worst challenge to accept. How can any Spurs supporter even consider red, let alone Arsenal red?
Alan. Get in there, Alan.
Alan, you can't talk. We don't need to go into the education of your daughter and what team her boyfriend supports.
Well. Alan.
I've tried, mate. I've tried. I can't boot her out. I'm not wicked.
Alan cannot educate his daughter into choosing boyfriends who support.
Well. You've been out of there, Alan, son.
9 years ago. Couldn't boot her out 9 years ago, could I?
No, but you can boot him out. Push him down the stairs.
I've tried.
Yeah. Rez, get that Grim Reaper costume on.
Just do a wheelie on the scooter, Alan. Just fucking bundle him over.
Everyone's pissing and moaning that we're not talking about football, and then when we start talking about football, we don't talk about football.
Well, Alan, I've just found out that Alan's got a son-in-law that's a gooner. That's
not
quite.
Yet.
Oh right, so there is still time, Alan, is what you're saying.
Apparently, I was meant to. Have waited outside the Spurs ground for the old Spider-Man bloke. Was Tom Holland?
Tom Holland, yeah.
Then she'd change her mind, dump him and go for Tom Holland. But that's a bit of a.
Yeah, but he wears red as well. He's not a proper Spurs fan. Have you seen him?
Yes.
Flying around.
Spider-Man,
He wears red.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Red. Bastard.
Yeah.
You're winding him up before bedtime. You can't do
Tom's life. Yeah.
So don't wind him up before bed. He's got tea and toast to do in the morning.
That's true.
Monday.
Don't want to wind him up from now.
Yeah. So Ranjit.
Come on, Newcastle. Come on.
Newcastle. Oh, we're talking about football. Brilliant.
Yeah. I never gave you my prediction.
We don't like the route that you're going, Stel. We don't like the route that you're going.
All right, fair enough.
All right, now go on, Stel. Go on.
No.
He's offended now.
No. I said at the beginning. I don't want to do a prediction because I cannot predict what we're going to do anymore.
Come on, your audience is asking.
No, seriously, I can't predict. I don't trust them. They could do anything. They could win, lose, draw, win 4-0, lose 2-1.
What threat do Newcastle pose us?
There we go.
Set pieces.
Yep.
Set pieces. I think that Grimond, what's his name again? The one that bought from he's a threat. I think he's a threat, and so is the that player want us to buy. Freaking hell, I've had a brain fart. Who's the black guy that got really talented, good football player, skillful.
Sam Maximan.
Yeah, I think.
Bruno,
I think he's injured though. He went off injured recently. I don't know if he's still injured.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I think if Son and Kane turn up like they tend to do at the moment, we'll beat them. If it's a close game, I always fear it because I just don't know what kind of Spurs will turn up. But I think we will win it, but it'll be close. 2-1 Spurs.
Okay. Nick. It's not just the predictions, guys. You can talk as much as you want.
2-1. I think 2-1 Spurs as well. And I think Newcastle will score first. And then Kane will score 2. I think we just need to. We've had a bit of a break. Everyone has come back fit, I'm not sure what's happening with Davis, but I think it looks like he's come back, and the reason he's come back is to make it work. Here we go, Mrs. Allen again. Chocolate. This is 3.
Penny all the way downstairs.
Oh. We getting a lecture, Alan? Okay.
You can see the face.
Naughty Alan.
Hot chocolate as well. Look at that.
Yeah. Right. But that's the perfect wife, right? She gives you a bollocking, but gives you hot chocolate at the same time.
Carrot and stick effect.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. She's
and
got
also,
you properly.
She's gone up. Like, who was it that said she? Was it you, Iggy, that said she's like Tracy from EastEnders? She's now got speaking parts.
She's been given some lines. Before, she was just a cameo appearances, like in the background, and just see her floating. Yeah. Now she's been given lines to say. Yeah. Well done, Alan.
Soon she's going to take over.
If you're going to tell me off, make sure you bring me a
drink. I'm keeping the household awake. My daughter.
I didn't say that.
I'll give up.
Wow.
Al, that hot chocolate's going all over you in a minute.
Well, she's going for the main part now.
Do you know what that was?
I'm going to feel a bit like Tommy. I think I might have to go.
Do you know what that was? That was keep your name out of my fucking.
Yeah, the Will Smith moment. Yeah.
I might have to head to the doghouse, boys.
Yeah.
Chris the Alan Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. Alan's just had a Chris Rock effect. Yeah.
Well, that's escalated quickly. Alan, do you need to go?
I'm going very soon, though.
So yeah, I'll do
I do sign off when 2 comes up anyway. So I will say 1-0 Spurs. Kane 96th minute.
See you later.
Bloody hell, that's stress. That is.
See you later.
Alan. Enjoy spending the 19 million.
199 million now.
199 million, yeah.
Unfortunately for everyone that was due to see Alan on Sunday, he will be holding a wake because he is now going to die as he crawls to go to the toilet and gets pushed down the stairs, and nobody knows what's happened to him.
You in his chair, so it'd be like wheeled off the stairs, you know.
And that was the duff moment just there. I've got to go.
And that's when the accident occurred, my love.
Yes. Just because we called Alan's missus an extra, then she got some lines. Before you know it, she was the main lead. She wants the lead role.
She'll be doing the Alan Bell on Monday next. I've got no doubt.
Yeah. Tea and toast with Nick and Alan's missus.
Yeah, more like
I'll be like, where's Alan, Mrs. Allen?
You won't be seeing him no more.
More like tea and toast with Columbo investigating.
Just one more thing.
Just one more thing.
Where's Alan?
Where did I put it? Where did I put it?
Alan? Won't be seeing him no more. Don't worry about him. What do you mean? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah.
Don't ask too many questions.
Don't worry about it. I needed to do a program. I didn't think. Don't worry about it. It's all taken care of. I mean,
Alan, could you just mark yourself? Could you just mark yourself?
I'm still here.
Alan, can you mark yourself safe on Facebook for Mrs. Alan, so that we know that you're okay?
Alan, can you please take yourself off the rota for next week?
Yeah, that's his missus covering his tracks. He's still here.
Sabbatical.
He's all mashed up on the floor, and it's like he's still here watching. We need evidence. We need evidence that it's him that's typing.
Yeah.
He is honest.
Absent mitigating circumstance.
Enter passcode, face ID, and he's like on the floor like.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like, need the prints. We need a prints.
Just grabbing his finger for the fingerprint recognition.
Alan, smash the like now.
No, it's easy. She just holds his phone up to his face lying there. And it unlocks.
Oh, bless him, bless him. Alan, that's all love. It's all love, mate. It's all love. Fucking Italian coming on my show. How's life? Your country's out of the World Cup. Fuck them. Fuck them. How's life? Chelsea tosses. Chelsea tosses.
Oh, stop! I'm getting my head hurting. It's almost as bad.
This is all built up in Iggy. It's all been building up in him. He's had it for a week. He's had this shit for a week. It's all coming out.
Fucking pizza eating, spag bowl eating wankers. Up the World Cup. There you go. How's life? Yeah, it's like this. Up your ass.
Yeah, what
coming to Wembley and winning the Euros. Up your ass.
Fucking hell.
Right, sorry, Newcastle.
No one cares. No one cares.
You know what? The international break has ruined me. The international break has ruined me.
Clearly.
Absolutely ruined me. So, now listen. For me, it's always a tough one to predict. It's a tough one to predict after the international duty, because if we had played a week straight after we won against West Ham, I think we'd just had a nice little momentum. The fans were on a massive high. I think it would have been brilliant to play a week after. So the 2 week breaks, you never know how people come back from the respective nationalities. You know, Kulusevski just come out of Sweden not making the World Cup. Romero flew all the way to Argentina. For what? 2 games, he didn't get, you know. With Predictions the words of Alan. Oh fuck! I'm trying to be serious, and you guys going back into the Alan. We're gonna fucking turn them over. We're gonna turn them over on Sunday. We're gonna fucking turn them over. 3-1. No, what did he say? He said
as long as that Conte,
that fucking Conte better not fucking mess up that starting 11. I'll fucking have him, I will.
As long as that Paratici and Conte.
Too many bloody Italians at Spurs. Too many bloody Italians at Spurs. No, yeah, listen. I think the good thing about this international, for once, we haven't got any injury doubts. I know you mentioned Davis earlier on, but that looked more like a precaution. No, it looked like that Davis was more of a precaution. I think fair play to the Wales coach, manager. You know, he saw that he was a bit fatigued and he just sent him back.
Terry Tibbs.
Yeah.
It's
And,
true. It was just precautional.
Yeah, and that's commendable because I don't know a lot of managers or a lot of international managers that do such things, send them back out of precaution. He did that. We need him, whether we like Davis or not. We don't have a natural replacement on that left-sided centre back. Not a natural one, anyway. True. So I think we'll play with the first 11, which is really what Conte's going to go for between now and the end of the season. The only doubt will be probably that week that we would have 3 games a week with Arsenal in between. That will be the one. Yeah. That will be. Is that? I heard now it's going to be in the final week of the season where that's getting played. Oh, it's not straight after Liverpool. It's going to be between Burnley and Norwich. This is
really.
I heard it today. Andy messaged me earlier on to say that there's talks about it being played in the last week because Sky Sports are pushing for it. Sky Sports are pushing for it.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I bet Daniel Levy's pushing for it.
Well, whatever the reasons may be, it's hand in hand, isn't it? Really, they are pushing. They're saying Sky Sports TV.
Why would you want Arsenal straight after Liverpool? That's not good for us.
But what I'm saying is they're trying to push it for the last week of the season because imagine the televised view.
Because it'll be the battle for fourth.
Yes, that's what essentially it's all building up.
The road to Champions League.
The road to Champions League.
What we got there? I can't.
You got to read it out. It's a bit blurry.
Yeah, read it out, mate. You got to read it out.
He said, "I've been ruined." I says, "Is this you? Are you safe? What's she done?"
I thought it was something with the Arsenal game.
You brought this on yourself, Alan.
And she was only telling me I could head downstairs.
Alan, I think, and I'm surprised, Alan, because you're as the saying goes, you're a man of the world, and you should sniff the danger. You know already the time. You should see that danger coming from afar and realize, boys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. 2-1 Spurs. Good night. You see, but you allow the danger to get closer and closer and closer. The 2 lines became a full sentence. A full sentence became a full blood. And then now you have to go off. Now you have to go. Anyway.
How's life?
Up your ass! Up your ass!
Iggy on the
Macedonia! Macedonia! Coming to my country, to my stadium, in front of our own fans, and take our fucking trophy. That's ours.
Iggy.
Sophie, you let us know you're okay.
Don't even bother. I'm telling you that. She knows. You can hear me from across the room. Don't even bother.
Kids, are you okay? Dad's shouting. We know he's okay.
Listen, you know. This is another thing that kills me about parents and families. You know, and you, Nick, you may know something about this as well. You know how you go to some people's houses, and you go, you got the kids. I know this is my me playing in Romford for so many years back in the day, playing football. I pick every now and then the odd words come out. They go. You go to people's houses. I've gone back to go to people's houses.
Yeah.
And you say, can you keep the noise down because I've got the kids sleeping upstairs. I don't want to wake them up. Here, in my house, it's like they're used to the noise. This is how I talk. I'm not going to keep my noise down because they're sleeping. They're going to have to sleep. They're going to have to go to sleep despite of the noise. Actually, I think my noise soothes them because it's like dad's around. So in that way, when dad's around, he's all right sleeping. They're all right sleeping.
Iggy, they've got no choice.
And there's that as well. There's that as well.
I like the way you sold that. They've got used to it. They've got no choice. There's no choice.
But what they've been trained since babies to go to bed with noise. So if the house is quiet, they'll be like, I don't like the sound of this.
Yeah, exactly.
In preparation for your YouTube career, it was all part of the.
It was a journey. Before they used to go with the music. You know, some people sleep with music on, or they play music on a favorite radio station because they fall asleep with the TV on.
The TV on, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do that because it soothes them listening to. They don't like quiet.
I need noise. Yeah, I'm that.
Yeah, they don't like quiet, and so this thing where people say, "Can you keep the noise down? I've got the kids sleeping. Don't want to wake them up." Why do you invite me in your house when the kids are sleeping? Don't invite me here. Invite someone else. Don't invite me. With my voice, you want me to say, "Oh, what the fuck have you come out for?"
Okay, I hope you.
Say, good night. See you later.
I want to know how much sugar was in those Nutella biscuits.
Yeah.
I want to see the sugar count. Literally.
I'm normally, if I'm in a good mood, and listen, I was so in a good mood. I did a little jingle for Brian Daigle earlier today. Because Brian Daigle, when he messages me, WhatsApp me, and you know what, I've got it here.
He does a voice message, doesn't he?
Yeah, when he does a voice, and he always, he always says like, he sings me Biggie Smalls. He goes Iggy Smalls. Yeah. So Iggy, can't you see? He doesn't even say hello Iggy in his voice. No, he always starts like that. So I thought, you know what? If he's giving me Iggy Smalls, I've got to give him some Tupac. And I thought, I've got to find a Tupac track that best resembles Brian Daigle. So I thought to myself, I'm gutted because
careful you don't play it because it'll get copyrighted, the show.
Okay.
No. It's for parody. What's it called? You're doing it for parody purposes, so it's fine.
Okay, right.
But they'll strike down your show, Rez. It happened to us.
All right, leave it. Do you know what? I'll play for you after. Sorry, guys. Right, yeah. I don't want to be a guest. I don't want to be a guest on someone's show and then get them a strike for when they've been up for 3.5 hours. but so I thought I did a little jingle back on the spot. 8:30 this morning. There's me playing the music in the background in one hand, voice note in the other, and I'm going full pelt at 8:30 this morning in the little van, my work van, and you got people passing by and stuff like that. Because I've got it quite loud because I've got to be in the moment. Because you can't just hum to a Tupac song. You've got to really go in. Yeah. And people were thinking, "What the fuck is this geezer on at 8:30?" But when you hear it later, you will understand as to why they were looking at me in the way that they did. And it kind of, I think that doing that just set off something in me. I immediately felt all calmer afterwards, and it's put me in a good mood. And I've been in a good mood since. So, but in regards to the Newcastle game, which hey, listen, I think if we got our
have
first
you given
11,
a fucking prediction yet? Have you fucking told us what the score's going to be?
We keep going off piece every time we touch the subject.
Noise in your house, being a guest at the right. Give me the fucking prediction.
Welcome to Shelfside Spurs.
I had a 1 minute window, and then Raj, what's his name?
No, we've been
Rajit jumped in to take over my prediction.
We've been rinsing Alan.
Iggy gets a 20-minute window, and he still ain't fucking told me. We're still sitting here listening to you going on and on and on.
No, because Alan's been coming back and forth, and Alan's now apologising to us. Unfortunately, my two now tell me what to do. Back to Ricky! Don't come to my show again. We will win 3-1. I think we've got the first 11. I think Conte will know the The importance
22
of the
minutes
game,
that took.
the importance of the game is too big, guys, and we need to hit the ground running because the game's now going to get less and less and less, and the importance of the North London derby will become a lot closer. And I believe they will win a few of their games. I know they've got some big games coming up, but they're on a good moment, man. So I think it's important that we focus on us and let everything else around us take care of itself. We can't let ourselves down, which I understand why Still says what he says. At some point, these guys have got a habit of doing that. But, you know, this is we at home. Come on, guys, at home, rocking Tottenham Stadium and a full 11, and we constantly getting at them. I'm hoping that we listen. I'll take even 2-1, not 1-0. It's not a problem, but I think I'll be closer to 3-1. I think we'll win 3-1.
When do Arsenal play? When do Spurs play this weekend?
Arsenal play on Monday.
Yeah, so they've got to wait 2 days still before every results come through.
No, we play Sunday.
We play Sunday, yeah, but everyone else would have been playing Saturday, Sunday, so they're the last ones to play on Monday. So
the pressure's kind of off us a bit.
If we win 4-1, then we go above them into fourth on goal difference.
I don't know if 4-1.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it will be.
Spurs are capable of anything.
If we do 4-1, we go fourth above them, and then that's when if that happens, and then we'll see some pressure, right, on whether Arsenal will be put under that pressure that they've not been put under.
Who have I got? Remind me, guys.
Palace.
See, Palace. I
Vieira's going to bend over for Arsenal.
I believe that too, and I also believe that Palace it's all about motivation and what teams have still got to play for. Some of them are playing for salvation. Some of them are playing for European places. Some of them, what they're playing for, absolutely nothing, because they're not up here and they're not down there. They're kind of out in between. Those players in between, when they've got all these games to go, it's all about motivation now at this point in the season. What do they have to play for?
I have to say about Palace,
I hope not.
Vieira has very comfortably turned them mid-table this season. They've never been in any trouble.
No, they haven't. I just wish though for the nature of football, for the respect of the competition, they all do, and I say this for those who are playing against Spurs as well. They do what they should be doing, which is compete and try and get their own result, rather than just lay down and just give us the points. But you know what? We got Brighton very soon as well, guys, and Brighton are in a similar sort of predicament. They don't really they're down tools against us already.
Well, you see, the thing is, I against Newcastle, I've hit on the sort of the pathway to victory. I think, right? I think in order to win, we need to outscore them. Right? That's what I reckon. And it's that,
often that's the way, isn't it? If you outscore, your opponent.
Yeah. But it's an innovative approach, right? That if you outscore your opponent.
Groundbreaking information here on Shelfside Spurs.
One goal is enough.
The team that scores the most wins.
Wins. Yeah. That's what I've discovered this through my study of football.
If you want motivation, North Macedonia.
You just had to go in.
No, I think that Newcastle pose the threat to us on set pieces, especially because of Chris Wood, and they will have had that from Steve Bruce's time as well. That information, that sort of knowledge will be in there. They've got. I don't look at any Newcastle player and I think, you're of a particular threat, even San Maximan. Because obviously football's a team game. It's not just about one player. The Ronaldo screwing Spurs in a game very rarely happens. And Newcastle don't have anyone who can do that. But they've been a bogey team for us in the past. And it's that, oh God, is it going to happen to us again type thing that has me nervous. So I predicted a 2-2 draw recently, and that's what I'm going to stick with, I think. That's my view. Yeah. So on that note, I think it's very important that we remember why we're here. we are here to try and get Al a drink at the stadium. So let's have a little push.
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. Because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, but I'm going to try and get there earlier. So I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west near the media shop. I go up one level, and I usually have me something to eat there by the first grill bar, and it's actually in the west stand.
I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
And every time we've always gone, they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away. I usually do the driving.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half-time.
People, I just let you know, I only ever have one drink.
I'll get up about 3 o'clock, go on Persuasion with Eugene, and then in the afternoon I like to go on Tommy Talk. How's life?
I'm nothing like him.
I have to say that we've been
it's so funny every time I hear it.
A billion.
Overwhelmed. Yeah, the streamathon has reached £1,991,199,119.91.
There's a 1991 theme going on there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing how that's happened. You know, all the donations. You know,
the 91.
Yeah,
guys, we could, if we went on for another 3.5 hours, we could buy Tottenham.
So hopefully,
fuck the beers, Alan. We're buying Spurs.
I wonder what drink he'll buy with his one.
Fucking hell, he'll be able to put a beer underneath the glass and fill up the.
Well, that's what we were hoping for. We hoped that we would have enough for a pint. But with this slightly larger amount, we reckon we can just about stretch to one of the ones that fills from the bottom for him on Sunday. Obviously, we've got to do that this Sunday because when the prices go up, we won't be able to afford it after that. So yeah, we're gonna get that. But it's been a really, really, really good sort of streamathon. You know, it's been a good charitable night. So thank you for all your donations, everyone. And yeah, so I will hand over to our wonderful guests. Stel, Iggy, where can we find you when you're not here?
I want to give Stel the word because he's upset that I talk too much.
And Stel's forgotten.
You can find us on Tottenham away tomorrow. You know. Do you know what I liked about the bit of that music? I mean, I loved the Alan. I found the whole thing still really funny. The bit who goes, I've met I've seen Nick down around. Yeah, I've met him once before. I don't mind meeting him again. That bit there, 3 times I've heard it and I've laughed every single time. Yeah, if I at a push, I don't mind meeting him again.
If I have to go and meet him again,
but he says it in that tone. It's like, I don't mind. Put your wallet away. Put your wallet away. How dare you?
But
Stelios, where can we find you, Stelios?
You can find me. Calm Intellectual educated debates. You can find me helping global warming, the spread of wealth equally around the world. And,
I'm just going to mute him. Iggy, tell us where you can find that.
No, I'm giving as he's talking. I'm kind of in the background. Stars live.
Thank you for giving me that. Thank you so much.
Stars live. It's like it reminds me.
Give it to Sugar Rush boy down there.
Sugar Rush.
It's hazelnut rush. This is it, because Nutella is an Italian invention, and they actually invented it when they wanted to give Italian troops a chocolate ration during the war.
Is this true?
It is true, but they didn't have enough.
If Wes says it, I believe him.
Yeah,
I'm sold.
They didn't have enough ingredients, so they added hazelnut to it because there was a glut of hazelnut, so they could use that to give it the body or enough to make it more, bulk it out. And that's how Nutella was created.
Just have the whole fucking thing.
But that's the thing about it. When an Italian eats Nutella, that cultural memory just puts them on a high. So that will explain Iggy's.
So next time I go to social media war, I should have a cup of tea and some Nutella biscuits.
Are you Italian?
No.
So no, it wouldn't work.
There's two kinds of people in this life: Italians and wannabe Italians.
Yeah.
Fuck you! Fuck off! I imagine Alan on the other side now watching us go, fuck! Get off!
So 12 minutes ago, we asked where we could find you guys. We're still not 100% certain.
Give us 20 minutes.
Come on.
Calm down. No, hello.
Where can we find you guys?
If you want to find us, just look for us. We're easily found. We're easily found. Tomorrow we're
promotion.
Tomorrow we are at Tottenham away. United Spurs of America boys will be with us. Talking all things Spurs, of course. It will be at 7:30. Be looking into a Newcastle game and whatever content they will have for us. Tune in to find out. As we will find out also on the night. And regarding us, we would obviously the weekend will approach and then we'll have the Newcastle game. Stella and myself normally upload a load of stuff during and after the game on the day. And then on Monday night, we'll be back on the Tottenham away Monday night stream where we'll be discussing the events of the weekends and other rising matters regarding the Spurs world. Of course, in between all of that, we will have the Good Morning Tottenham away videos coming back because we will finally have content to be speaking about
on your green screen.
And see, this is not real. This is a green. This is the power of green screen. It looks like a canvas, but I promise you, it isn't. In there's a tunnel. It brings me to another part of the house. Listen, weather permitting, we'll be back at the Tottenham Hotspur training ground, the Hotspur Way.
Sophie's done it for you, really.
Yes, rains. I normally do it in the back garden. I've just got Hotspur Way in the background, and I don't know where I'm going with this. But the Good Morning Tottenham away videos will be back, and and obviously to all our updates still. You can find it all on our Twitter accounts and on the Twitter account, and with all anything that comes up with Tottenham away. So, guys, so make sure you come across to our to a channel, like and subscribe the channel as you would. Of course, once you've done so here, gently.
Yeah,
that's all you need to do. But I don't want to piss off Rez by not doing it gently. Don't smash, just gently.
Or if you can't stop yourself from smashing, you have to, while you're doing it, say, I am Richard Keysing this button.
Richard Keysing, that's absolutely bang on. But guys, as always, thank you for having me on here. I love coming on here. You guys are brilliant. And I love even when we started off the show with F4 to talk about it, we've managed to, we are 3 hours and 45 minutes later, still chatting away, and thank God we didn't have anything to talk about. Huh? We had loads to talk about.
We would still be going.
And to Ben Kaufman,
Kaufman.
Kaufman, sorry, I beg your pardon. We will arrange a day where we will, all four of us here, we will come to your coffee, and I shall bring some of these Nutella things as well to have with that beautiful coffee of yours. We will sort it out, guys.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Sophie, I hope you've done the washing up. 2, you've done the fixtures. If you haven't, then I don't know what Iggy's going to do in the state.
I think the fixtures have been done. The signal.
No, she's waiting for you to get off the show so she can use the laptop you use.
Computer.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna do an Alan's wife moment on me in about 30 seconds. So I've got about 30 seconds before it all shuts down.
Sense the danger.
Sense the danger. Keep the Canada dream alive, because I want to be on that plane come November.
Exactly.
So,
Iggy out.
and fuck you, Italy! Bloody Italians.
So, any final thoughts from you, Barry?
Colomba. Ooh, I like that. That's the panettone, guys. Panettone Colomba.
Also, you can find Stel in block 257 if you want to have us fight. You know where he is.
You can find Stel and his red chair.
Not where I sit.
I'm trying to protect you, Stel. It's fine.
You can find me in block 257.
You can find him sitting on a red chair.
You can find me sitting head down, hoodie over me. Just
Stel's life.
Now, I'll be the one standing up, going, "Fucking Doherty!
Fuck you, Doherty! Fuck you, Rivera!
Doherty, get off the pitch." That's me.
Well, you guys, thank you very much for coming on. Barry, Alex, Ranjit, Steve, Sean, Davis, whatever name we're giving you this week. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Really,
everyone in the chat's been fantastic for staying.
Can't go through all the names because it'll take forever. I can't do a Spurswasian because he just starts at the top and works his way down. It'd just take forever. We'd be here for another 20 minutes, and you guys won't sleep, I'm sure. Thank you to the chat. Thank you for everyone watching. Do please like and subscribe. Again, gently click the button. Do subscribe to Tottenham Away. It's a fantastic channel. And please do come and join us. Not myself. It'll be Nick and Alan doing the Tea and Toast with Tottenham. So TTT, Monday, 10 a.m. Please do join. We will see you all next time. But to close the show, one.
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. Because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, so I'm going to try and get there earlier. Because I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west near the media shop. I go up one level, and I usually have me something to eat there by the first grill bar, and it's actually in the west stand.
I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
And every time they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away. I usually do the driving.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half-time.
People, I just let you know, I only ever had one drink.
I'll get up about 3 o'clock, go on Spurswasian with Eugene. And then in the afternoon, I like to go on Tommy Talk. How's life?
Hey, I'm nothing like him.